What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show. Now, my guests are in the back, but before we start this show, I just wanted to have a few words with the Chelsea fans and just Chelsea supporters in general. When I was away, we did a video here on the channel about Andrew and Scott going at basically the Chelsea fans and pointing out a lot of prominent issues, prominent things in the Chelsea fan base that I agreed with a lot of it. And I wanted to have a chance to actually have my say on this. And now it's more prevalent because I'm noticing a lot more negativity and a lot more, not really like slander, but just a lot of discussions about and criticisms on Graham Potter. Now, pretty much, it's just a quick monologue and then we'll let everyone in. I don't agree with people coming out here and saying Potter out. I think it's absolutely ridiculous for people to be coming out and saying Potter out. This man's only had, 8 games under Chelsea as a Chelsea manager, 7 games. Not nearly enough to even determine what kind of a manager he's going to be, how his system is going to work, what he's going to do with the players, and yada, yada. It's just one of those things that, like, I feel like the Chelsea fan base is so spoiled from the Roman era of constantly having instant results. And what makes me mad about it too is that I feel like a lot of these fans were the same fans that were saying Tuchel out. And now that they're seeing what's happening with Graham Potter, now there's buyer's remorse. You can't have it both ways, okay? That being said, even when Tuchel was here, as much as I wanted Tuchel to stay, as much as I wanted Tuchel to have his window and do what he had initially planned, having finally like a transfer window where he was actually supported, got a team, we actually got the baggage out. He got 1 game with this team and then he was sacked. It was totally unfair. I would have liked to have seen how he would have played out the season, even though, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many people in this fan base, the team was not heading in a good direction. But even though he got sacked immediately, it wasn't because of results. And if you're paying attention to the news and the outlets and what people are saying and what Boehly's saying, and if you believe what the new owner is saying, you know that it was because of communication. There just wasn't the chemistry between the manager and the board, right? Now, this isn't the Roman era anymore. This isn't, we're just going to chop and change managers all the times. We're just going to go ahead and have a manager bounce, have a great season, and then as soon as things start looking bad, we're just going to chop and change it. This isn't how Boehly works. For those of you who do not know Boehly, and I don't know Boehly per se, but I see how the Dodgers have been ran. I see how the Lakers have been ran. And those are high status teams in their own sports. And he very much assigns the people, like we're doing right now at Chelsea, assigns the people to take care of the job. And then he goes, lets it be, and you see out the results. Because let's have it right. I mean, I'm not going to play the soundboard. I'm trying to be serious here. Let's have it right. If you look in the past 5 years in the Premier League, 2 teams that stand out that have dominated this league have been Liverpool and Man City. Man City having Pep being a long-term project manager. Liverpool starting off really low and then working their way up to where they are. Well, last season, not this season so much. We'll see what happens this season. And now we're seeing the results of a long-term project with Mikel Arteta. As much as I hate to admit it, because I do not like Arsenal, it seems that now in football, and you can look at other clubs too, like AC Milan and even Real Madrid to a certain extent. You look at the way other clubs are run, and it seems that the long-term project seems to merit the most results. So Graham Potter's basically here to stay. He's not going to go anywhere. Unless we're close to getting relegated, I do not see Graham Potter going anywhere at all. Anyone who's saying Potter out, hold it, okay? Hold it, because it's not going to happen. unless we're close to getting relegated, which I seriously doubt it's going to happen with this Chelsea squad. Graham Potter is a good manager. He did really well with Brighton, and he's going to do well with this team as soon as he gets his players, his tactics, and everything going for him. It's going to take time for that to happen. He's not going to go. Again, this is a project. So I understand that people say, oh, you know, he has to earn his time and all that. Look, the season's not over. We still have an FA Cup. We still have a Carabao Cup. There's still Champions League results. And there's still a whole half of the season after World Cup. After the World Cup, players are going to come back injured in their teams. We don't know what Arsenal's going to look like. They don't have the depth. We don't know what Man City's going to look like. Liverpool's going to look like. Liverpool's been turning it around recently, it looks like. So we can't predict what the future's going to be like. Obviously, I'm not happy with the results. But you have to understand that with Potter as a manager, he's going to go through ups and downs. So yes, it's disappointing that we lost to Arsenal, and in the way we lost as well. It was absolutely disappointing. I don't disagree. But to be spewing Potter out, Potter this, Potter that, it's ridiculous. You can criticize Potter's decisions. Sure, I agree. He made mistakes yesterday. To say that he's not the manager for Chelsea or that Tuchel should have never left and all this, you don't know that. And it's just reactionary. And again, this is a project. Look at the actions that Boehly's been taking. We have a football director, technical director. We're looking for another. We're looking to get the Liverpool guy, Michael Edwards, in. Like, there's a whole spew of projects happening in this club. The actions are speaking louder than the words. The fact that people are here saying Boehly, he's gonna have he's gonna back out. It's gonna be pressure that he's gonna set. No, it's not gonna happen. There's gonna be no pressure. He hasn't done it with the Dodgers. He hasn't done it with the Lakers. He's not going to do it with Chelsea. Okay, there's no pressure for Boehly. Like, I'm sure, based on the sacking of Tuchel, he doesn't really care what the fans think. He's going to do what he thinks is best for the club and move on that way. But I just think, and me saying this too, I know people are going to say, "Oh, you're lowering your expectations." Listen, I am not lowering my expectations. I want Chelsea to do well. What I will say is, though, I am changing my expectations. Since this is a project, it comes with different expectations. Since we're not trying to do instant results, it's different expectations. So, that being said, with this project, I do want to see improvement over the seasons. I do want to see a better image of Potter's football. I do want to see us getting closer and closer to closing that gap between Man City. Those are my expectations. And eventually, I want to see us winning trophies, dominating in Europe, dominating in the Premier League, and really competing with Man City. Those are my expectations. My expectations for this season, let's just do well. Let's try to get top 4. And if we don't, it's part of the project. I hate to say it, it's trust the process again. But at the end of the season, we will see what Potter will do. We will see the results that he has come with, and then we can have judgment. But right now, to say Potter out, I think it's stupid. Criticize the manager, but asking him to be sacked and asking Boehly to get out and saying things like Potter ain't got no clue, bro, it's been 8 games. Give the guy time. People were saying Arteta didn't have a clue. Now he's in first place in the fucking Premier League. So that being said, welcome to Casually FC. Welcome everyone to the channel. Thank you for being here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. I'm going to let the panel in. Welcome Winter Surfer. Welcome Real Chris. And we're going to have a drum roll here for our guest, the lovely, beautiful Jam from JNA TV. Woo! Hey, what's going on, boys? Sorry, I went a little longer than I wanted to on my little monologue there, but
Jesus,
let's see if you guys agree or not. But how's everyone doing?
Yeah, all good, bro. All good.
Good. Yeah. Over
Jem
the Arsenal game.
Spoke with Jem earlier on his fantastic stream, GNA TV. Go subscribe to that.
Oh yeah, check out the channel is down below. Check out the link in the description, please.
Yeah, I think we vented a lot, didn't we, Jem, on that one? You know.
It was needed, heavily needed. That one. Yeah.
For sure, I could imagine.
Therapy session.
And you know, player agendas aside, we all still are the same. Yes. You know what I mean? We all still support Chelsea and want the one main thing. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day,
yeah.
It is. We move.
All right, cool. Well, let's just start off with I guess what I was saying earlier, I mean, do you guys somewhat agree or not? Like, Jem, we'll start with you. You're the guest and you haven't been here in a while. It's good to see you back on the channel, by the way.
Thank you, mate.
We've missed you.
But
But overall, what do you think about what I said just a second ago about the whole waiting for this project, waiting for Potter? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I don't know.
No, you're spot on. I think the mindset of this fan base is still stuck in the Roman era. Before Brighton and Arsenal, Graham Potter was unbeaten. We weren't playing the greatest of football, but we were still winning games. And when you looked at the number of games that he won compared to Tuchel's first couple of games, it was pretty much an identical like to like, if I'm right in what I'm saying. So, you know, he was doing what he needed to do. And, you know, the one thing that I have been stressing, I've stressed so many times to people when it comes to Graham Potter, is that we are going to win, we are going to lose, win or draw games, and it's going to be the same shit that we've probably seen under Tuchel. The reason I say that is because we got rid of Thomas Tuchel, which I still believe was maybe the wrong time, just in terms of
I agree
what Boehly wanted to do. And I mean, Boehly's dug his hole now, so he's committed to it, and that's fair, and I back that because he's chose to do that. But he's decided that he wants a project manager, you know, and he wants this new project manager to follow the new philosophy of the new board and hierarchy. This is currently still being put in place by Chelsea Football Club as we speak, right? And that's cool. But what people need to understand, I'm talking about, not about you guys, because you all understand this, but I'm talking about some of the FIFA merchants and Twitter merchants that sit on Twitter all day, have nothing else to do but just moan every day and write negative comments about Chelsea per game. Is they need to understand the position of the football club and where it is right now and where we are at. As soon as you can understand it, then you'll understand why we are sometimes playing like we did yesterday to a degree. I don't agree with that we should be playing like we did yesterday throughout the season, because I don't think he'll last, and I don't think the players will. Don't get me wrong, because I thought it was that bad. In my opinion, it was a bad performance. But when you look at where we're at and what we're trying to do for the future of this football club, we are in a huge transition, and it's facts. We are. You know, we're not going to be fine for titles. We should be trying to get Champions League. There is a slight, maybe not that we won't, you know, it could happen. But transition means that the word transition means that you're kind of, you know, still trying to get the teething areas sorted within your squad, within your hierarchy. And it's not even just on the pitch, it's off the pitch as well. The thing with Graham Potter is that he kind of has to do what Thomas Tuchel had to do. But the problem with Potter is he doesn't have any expectation from us, or because we don't know what to expect. You look at his resume and background, we know he was a Premier League manager and he done quite well, but we don't know what to expect in terms of how does he deal with bigger name players, better squads, a better team, a board that's going to back him financially now for the long run. These are all the unknown, and it goes to say the same when it comes to Todd Boehly and the philosophy of what he wants to do. But until we get into a summer window, until Potter is allowed, hopefully, to be able to bring in profile of players that allow him to then implement his system, which then means it can become more consistent, because we're not going to have the consistency. We will not see Potter ball this season. We may see it in a couple odd games here and there where he's trying to get them to slowly play it. But the issue of it all is that, and I keep saying it, these crop of players, some of them are just not good enough, and I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw a ball. I keep saying it. I don't. Honestly, I don't, because they've only shown me under Tuchel, under Lampard, even going all the way to Sarri, that they ain't good enough to play in a team together domestically to be able to allow us to compete for the Premier League. You know, it gets past looking at managers and going, sack him, get rid of him. We lost, get rid of him. When are we going to take our attentions away from managers and start looking at the players and how they're performing? Yeah, and understand that we're just missing certain specific profile of players in the team that maybe will allow us to be more consistent. But that doesn't happen overnight. And this is the problem. They can't move their mindset from the Roman reign. They lose the game and it's like, sack, quick, get rid. Let's get someone else. That's the answer. It's not that, guys. It's about giving time to what we haven't ever seen in our lives as Chelsea fans. What could be a potential project that may need a good 2 years to get properly rolling, plus to then hopefully dominate domestically and do what we need to do. It might not happen, but we can't sit there and start guessing now, because we haven't had enough time to see under Boehly, under Potter, what they can do for this football club. So my judgments on both is zimp right now. I'm not doing that. I'm waiting. That's it.
And you know what? You bring up such a good point. Like, just look at where Liverpool, outside of this season, obviously. I mean, and even at the end of the season, we don't know. Liverpool might pick it up and just not stop winning games from here on out, right? But like, just look at Liverpool for the last 4 seasons. They've been so dominant in the Premier League, and they've only been shadowed by Man City just because, you know, look at how Man City are run financially, how many players they can get, the pool that they have, and have Pep Guardiola, who's also like won so many trophies under so many teams. The only one that escapes him is the Champions League, right? Well, yeah, outside of Barcelona. But it's just like, these teams that have the projects and in the Premier League especially seem to be the ones that are the one. That's the way that this day and age seems to work now. I think the sacking and you know, bringing in a new manager culture, it just hasn't worked anymore. And oh boy, I didn't expect this one, but yo, Lewis is on the stream. Big up Lewis. You know, let's give him a round of applause too.
Oh shit, you got a soundboard.
Of course I do.
That's mad.
What you think I just carry around Johnny Minerals in my pocket all day?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Bro, I just came back from a bollocking on that channel, you know.
Oh, would he not let you on?
Yeah, no, he wouldn't let me on because I cussed out Mountain Havertz yesterday. He's like, I need to humble you.
What do you expect? He's not going to let you on.
Literally had half the comment section saying, let me in, because I just wanted to discuss them. He didn't bring them up the entire stream. I just wanted to know what you thought about their performance.
Half the comment section is so volatile against you, and the other half just their reasoning
one
with
of them
you.
was calling me racist. They said I hate Mountain Havertz because I'm racist, like I'm not a literal Christensen stan. like I'm not an apparent Jorginho stan. Well, I like Lukaku, and I apparently made up a stat that I just got wrong. Like, I was just wrong about it. But apparently that is because I'm racist. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my days.
This fan base, bro.
You gotta love that love.
You gotta love them. Well, while I have you here, Lewis, I mean, I don't know if you caught my monologue in the beginning of the show, but I was just kind of, you know, addressing how these fans are already saying Potter out and maybe not realizing that this isn't the Roman era anymore. Potter, unless he's going to get relegated, he's not going to get sacked. He's going to have bad performances like yesterday. He's going to have good ones like in the Champions Leagues. And I know like it hasn't been too good for Potter lately, but even for Brighton, we saw some bad patches of form for Potter, but in the long run, after 3 years of Brighton, he finally started getting the squad to play how he wanted to play. He got players that he wanted in, and he started performing really well for Brighton. So I guess for you, Lewis, what I want to ask you is, what are your thoughts on Potter? Like, are you willing to give him time? Do you realize it's a project, or are your standards just a little different than that?
No, like the standards remain the same, but the understanding of where we are in the project can also be understood too. And I think people are just mistaking the two. Like, I'll always have the standard that as a bare minimum, we need to make top 4. We need to be competing on all fronts. But if we don't do it this season, I'm not going to say Potter out because this team's shit. And we know this team's shit. We've seen under Lampard, Tuchel managed to fucking take this team to a Champions League, God knows how. And because he did that immediately, everyone wants Potter to have immediate results too. But it doesn't work like that. We got very lucky with Tuchel. Whereas in Potter, we know we have a clear rebuild. We don't trust any of our goalkeepers. Our midfield has our defense has no understanding for each other. Our midfield gets absolutely bent over in transition and doesn't create anything. Our 10s are just useless. Our wingers barely get given any game time, and our forwards never get given any service. So I don't know why people are expecting that sort of stuff and for Graham Potter to make miracles out of a team that's 90% shit. When Klopp came in, he cleared out 90% of the squad. When fucking Arteta came in, he cleared out 90% of the squad. We expect to win the Champions League without clearing out anybody. This team is shit. And people just need to accept the fact that the players we have aren't good enough.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I say it all the time. You can keep your standards, but you can't apply it to these set of players because they can't reach those standards. So while you've got standards up here, the team's down here. Yeah? And they can only get so far. Cup run here and there, something like that. Like we saw last season. 2 great cup runs, or 3 if you want to count the Champions League. 3 good cup runs, yeah. But in the league, and for the past 5 years, we've been so inconsistent to bad in the league. I mean, we barely
even
crossed,
deeper. Look at the runs in those cup competitions.
and we've barely crossed 70 points in those 5 years in the league.
Yeah.
Barely crossed 70 points. That's embarrassing. Scraping 2 of those seasons, scraping last day of the season. No, even 3. Was it 3? No, 2. Those last day of the season to get into top 4. You know, having to have Tottenham get us top 4 because they beat Leicester.
Yeah. Actually, you know what, Andrew, you just mentioned that. Someone told me if you take away Tuchel's Champions League that first season that he joined, he lost the FA Cup to Leicester and he barely scrapped top 4.
Right.
So
the thing is, though, it's like,
again, the cup run. We got a very easy run in the FA Cup.
right.
Chesterfield, Plymouth, fucking Middlesbrough. The League Cup. Did we even play anyone tougher than Tottenham?
No one but Tottenham. Yeah.
But we did it in the Champions League. I thought we had some hard games at the end of it. So,
Lille, harder, but still winnable.
No, but I'm talking. We had when we won it, we played Porto, didn't we? And we played.
The
Madrid,
2021 run, we were ridiculous.
Even last season, look at the drop off right after the Real Madrid second leg. We had double-digit lead points over Arsenal and Spurs in the league. We had 3rd wrapped up. We got it down to single points.
Yeah,
we got it down to single points. Like we were in 2 points
as well, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, that's right. Do you remember? We were in the top 4 for all the seasons, weren't we? Do you remember? And Man United was so far behind us, and they beat us the 3rd. They beat us the 3rd.
I do remember that.
That's the problem. It's like it's like cup game. Like everyone's like, oh, the Dortmund game. It's like, oh, Dortmund are playing very well. I have no problem. I have every confidence in this team in the cup.
Cup team.
Cup team's fine.
We are a cup team. That's what
I think if we played them next week, I think we beat them. It's a cup. It's a cup. There's no pressure.
I hope we lose against Man City though. I don't want to see us get to another Carabao Cup final and just lose out or whatever. Like we've been to 3 FA Cup finals, lost all 3. I want us out of FA Cup and Carabao Cup. We haven't even got the depth, I don't think, that like last in the Premier League with all the injuries we're getting. Like obviously, Reece James is injured now, and Chilwell is injured. Another wing back is injured. You got a few other injuries as well, like Kante's injured. Kovacic is back now, I think. But yeah, like I definitely our depth in midfield and wing backs is weak, and centre backs.
What's the percentage when he gets back from the World Cup? He has to have a knee surgery.
Ooh, Chilwell.
Kovacic.
Oh, Kovacic. Oh, yeah.
What's that? And then he's out for 3 or 4 months for the rest of the season or something like that. Yeah. And then we're down again. It's not good, mate. It's not good.
I mean,
it's probably the worst I've ever felt. Like how I feel about the club, and
I keep saying it, Andrew. I have not enjoyed watching Chelsea for a very long time. I don't like the way we play. It's not good. There's nothing great about this crop of players. I actually feel more detached from these players than I have ever. But I still stick by the club, by them to a degree because every game I back them, and I know deep down in me that we're not gonna, in some games we're not gonna do it, but I still, put myself out there and say like, and shows, we're gonna win 2-0 or we're gonna beat Arsenal, and it's like, it doesn't surprise me anymore that we get let down because all they do is show us that they're just inconsistent. Relevant to the system. The system's important. Don't get me wrong. The manager has to take criticisms for that. Yeah, I get that. But I think for me, it just goes to show that how limited the players we actually have in our squad, and and how chalk and cheese they are between each other. Sometimes I watch them, like the Arsenal game. I'm like, do you even train with each other? Like, they don't even know how to put 2 passes together. Going forward. Like, it's shocking. Like, I was at the Matthew Harding end when I went to the Arsenal game. Lewis was there as well. That first half of performance, I mean the whole game, but that first half in general, was one of the worst performances I've ever seen going to the bridge in my life. They had no clue of each other. They couldn't even make 2 passes together. The defence was getting absolutely bombarded, and they had no midfield. But even though Jorginho didn't do too bad in that game, even he couldn't contain what was going on. The forwards were just Sterling wasn't even tracking. Do
you reckon? I didn't watch an Arsenal game, but do you reckon like Potter told them to sit back a bit more and try counter attack? And because I did see parts of it, like I couldn't watch it like the whole game, but Like, okay. I saw a couple of times the Kai Havertz the ball like we passed to him, he runs up and he didn't see Aubameyang. He missed Aubameyang twice from I saw. So we did have a couple like maybe close chances we could have put in, but just
we're
like
asking Kai Havertz on the counter to get the ball and take players on and run around them when you know what I mean, like, and then have no one around him on top of that. And it kept happening the whole time with other players when we did try and get.
It'd be nice if you could just take a player on first.
It doesn't matter though, Lewis. Take a player on, then what? Who was there? Who we got fucking there?
That is true.
It completely done Saliba.
Oh yeah, but I still mean even the bare minimum I can't get.
No, wait a sec. He took on Saliba in the first half, down the left, skinned him.
Didn't he slip?
I saw that.
And then crossed the ball.
And then there was no one there.
Box.
Yeah, that's like
Oh no, but there was another one where he could have crossed.
Yeah,
and
he
Aubameyang was
slipped.
literally
Yeah,
6
I
yards
agree.
away.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what I'm saying. You know, it's like we don't.
And by the
have-
time someone does get in the box, there's like 5 defenders around it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do?
It's mad.
Pathetic.
Yeah.
Bringing in Nkunku in January and summer with this current crop of players. Do you think we're going to see the best of Nkunku at Leipzig? All we're going to do is go Bundesliga attacks. It's crap.
Yeah.
And then we keep forgetting the most big thing. What's
Why is
around
As long
him?
as we don't overhype him first, then we won't get to
So
that
what
point.
about we think about what's around him first and who
Yeah,
we put
yeah.
him with,
Yeah,
rather than
yeah,
just
yeah.
going, do it like we do with all our players. I want him to just be the one that can do it all on his own. We don't have Hazard anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just
Yeah.
getting annoying.
Well, we
And
need
you
to
know
strengthen
that-
them.
And you know the stuff he is doing at Leipzig, all the nice flicks and passes and everything like that.
You're not
Who's
going to be
gonna get
able
on
to
the
win
end
with
of
that
it?
in the Prem.
Who's
It'd
gonna
be
get on the end
shit.
of it?
Why did we spend 50 million on
Yeah,
him?
yeah.
He's useless.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then people are going to say, but look at Haaland. He's playing well at Man City. Well, Man City has Bernardo Silva. Man City has De Bruyne. Man City has Foden, fucking Riyad Mahrez, all these players. You can name them off over and over and over again. We don't really have that at Chelsea.
And they played together
As-
for a long time.
And the other
That's
thing
nice.
too, it's like, you know, this. Let's try to do this without dogpiling on each other. We're gonna talk about Mount and Kai Havertz, obviously, but I feel like that's the other thing too. With the Chelsea fan base, it seems that when we talk about these players, it seems that the onus is that they have to do everything. What have they done for the club? What have they done for this and that and that? And it's like, I get the criticism. I'm not here to defend them. I'm not. Like, genuinely, I think this season, Havertz has been below average. Mason Mount has been pretty poor. You could argue both of them have been poor. But it's just that I feel like when we discuss these players, it's either they're shit, or it's the player stands like, oh, he's generational, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, we can't have an in-between conversation. And it's really freaking frustrating because I think one feeds into the other and it only makes the fan base split even further apart. Look, I'm not on Twitter, so I'm... What?
Now he decides to send me the I can't be bothered.
This
I'm
guy,
busy.
he sees you on the real minerals and he
Fucking
wants you
minerals,
back, you know?
bruv.
That's what I'm saying. Anyways, so
I had his
What- what
chance. I'm busy now.
what I'm trying to say is that do you guys think that the Chelsea fans are putting too much of an Eden Hazard kind of role on like players like Havertz and players like Mason Mount, or do you think that the high amount of criticism on both those players is pretty merited?
I think that the criticism of the players is deserved to a degree. I agree when you can't do the basics or the fundamental basics in the game like we saw yesterday, and it wasn't just Mount and Havertz. I think there was a lot of them that couldn't do it. That's a problem for me. And there's a way of losing football. When you lose the way we did yesterday, where we only had one shot the whole game, and the lack of effort from the squad and the cohesion, the link play and whatever we were trying to blimmin' do on that game. You know, when you don't see any of that, that's where it becomes a problem for me, because you can't play like that. You know, you can lose games, but lose games trying and making chances and just be unlucky. And well, maybe we could have accepted it, losing 1-0 in that game. Oh, we opened them up a couple of times, they didn't put it in the back of the net, but we could see what we were trying to do, what Potter was trying to do. You know, the issue with it all is that Mount and Havertz and should I say, they're too inconsistent in themselves, in their own performances, and where they can be maybe good or look decent for 1 or 2 games, they can be the absolute opposite in the next. And why the fan base gets so annoyed is it's usually the bigger games where we want them to step up, like derbies, where they don't turn up and they let us down. And that's a problem. It is. That is not only just a personal problem, but this goes back to something more important than that for me. It just goes back to the lack of spine and mentality that we have in the team. Because as soon as we go a goal down, we have no bottle, we have no spine, and we have no like someone that just goes, you know what, fuck it, we're all playing shit, but I'm gonna make this happen. Give me the fucking ball. I'm gonna do something. Maybe that Eden Hazard-esque type of attitude, but not even that. Even having a Frank Lampard attitude or a Didier Drogba attitude or a John Terry attitude. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like having that sort of attitude to just not give up and put your all in and try and do something, for yourself or for the team, do something, is why they get criticised, because we don't see any of that. When they're shit, they're shit. They're that bad. They're non-existent. And that's the problem with the players that we talk about, Mounts and Havertz and whatever. They disappear. And that's an issue. And that falls down to mentality, lack of spine, and the lack of understanding in the system and the role that they're playing in my opinion. It is what it is.
You know what it is? Imagine these lot. Imagine these lot were in the new camp 2012, Jim. Went down 2-0 at 10 men. We'd be looking at our worst defeat ever.
Imagine Mason Mount making that Lampard pass.
I'm just saying.
Boswinger playing centre back. I remember.
Yeah, but we had a back four of Ramirez, Ivanovic, Boswinger, and Ashley Cole
and Drogba.
And Drogba, in the second half he was their wing back. He's playing right back. Imagine these lot trying to do that. Oh my god.
Oh.
We'd be sitting there going, do you remember 2012 when we got beat 12-0 at the new camp?
Do you remember we had to play Jorginho at centre back?
Yeah.
Oh
Imagine that.
my days.
Jorginho against prime Messi, bro. I love him, but it wouldn't be nice.
I tell you what, the fan base, parts of his fan base and the team reflect each other, bro. They're the same. Any bit of adversity, they crumble. Look at this sort of Potter out stuff. Any bit, yeah. And actually, do you know what? It's not actually the way. It's the people who didn't want Potter in the first place quickly turned. So, but let Alex roam free, bro.
Alex, my man, how you doing?
I'm calmed down already. So
seems like it.
I was I said, I wasn't that mad even after the game. As much I was mad on the Lewis stream because people just pissed me off.
Oh yeah,
especially what's his face?
Scott.
I don't know why he triggered me today, but look.
I think he was just the final bit, Alex.
What happened? I didn't even see it.
No, it was
like. What happened?
No. It's like there's some. I think the way he puts the thing, saying like, this fan base, how you say it? This fan base deserve it. Like, what the fuck did I do to deserve it? You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
He's Scott's on his fan rivalry arc right now. Yeah, he's on his fan hating arc right now.
You need to go through the pain and suffering. Yeah. Pain and suffering of what? I have 3 kids. 4. I forget one. Yeah. And you need to go through pain and suffering, And I'm like,
yeah,
why do I like what? Scott is here actually in the chat.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yes, Scott, roll through, brother.
No, after the stream, I was like, why did he fucking trigger me so much about the freaking thing? And the funny part is, I don't want Potter out. I was actually more realized that there's more problem on Boehly to blame for this situation than actually on Potter. If he was smart enough, he would have done that, in the transfer market when you still have some kind of change. Why Boehly said that he complained about no communication with Tuchel after the window is closed. Like, you don't need to talk after the window is closed. You don't need football director after window's closed. Why you want him to talk to you? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem that I think I was more pissed off about than thing. But thank you, Scott. I had a good sleep after that. But anyway, no, it was literally like the reason why I've what's his name? You need to go, this fan base deserve it, and that's what triggered me. Like, I don't think this fan base, we are a little bit spoiled. I agree with him on that, but it's still that like I don't believe that there's specific things that people assume that structure, believe in the process. I don't believe as much as people think that's true, because I think it's hit and miss no matter how you do it. There's a percentage of lottery with the club. If you get the right manager with right person, you see what I'm saying? It depends how you get it. And I think actually it's more on the manager than on the football director, because in the beginning, like to get that kickstart, to get that kickstart of the style. For example, because people, another thing this guy keeps bringing up Manchester City. Manchester City did not have that thing that people keep saying that Manchester City has. They don't. They really don't. Because they fired and hired managers on the same level. If you think there's no sequence in what they wanted to be, how they wanted to play, there's no sequence. Don't tell me you went from Mancini, who plays like Conte defensive counter-attacking style, to Pep and use like, oh yeah, we in sync. That's football. That's the directions we're going for. How?
You remember
Prime's asking for the link.
They have Pellegrini in between as well. Remember?
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
You know
Prime
what I
the
mean?
link?
It wasn't like direct.
Yeah,
like,
that's.
I just leave it.
I think
Please
Pellegrini
tell
was
me,
like the
did
middle ground. I think Pellegrini was like the middle ground. There's sort of like
Seriously, in the style of the game, there was the middle ground from Pellegrini. That's what it is. You see what I'm saying? You're trying to explain. You see,
No,
this
but
is.
I think the thing is when it's different processes. Processes are a blanket word. All right, there's different processes, right? I think they didn't know how Pep was going to do in the Premier League. He's never been here before, stuff like that. It could have bombed, right? But what they did is they prepped it. They started a year before. There's no way he was not involved in the signings of Sterling and De Bruyne for City. They came in 15-16 the year before, right? They were set up for that. That's what I mean. So whether he bombed or not, they were going to set him up so that if the only failure that was going to happen at City was going to be on Pep and no one else, yeah? No one else in the structure, no one else on the board. They were all going to set it up for Pep, and if they failed, it was all going to be on Pep, yeah? That's the right thing to do.
And that's my
the
point
right
about.
thing to do.
It's exactly, if you just go and support the manager all the way through thick and thin. Otherwise, it's not gonna work.
Yes.
It's not gonna work. And I just don't believe in the process as much as people think. Like there is a structure of the football. These clubs run good. You know what clubs runs good? Ajax runs good. If you think about it, those kind of teams, Bayern Munich runs good. The structure of it. That's a proper structure. But at the same time, the league is weak.
It's weak, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Bayern don't have a youth system because they use the other clubs in Bundesliga to prep their players.
Exactly.
That doesn't happen.
Bayern Munich don't need to have a youth league. They have 20 other teams as a youth.
Yeah, they got 17 other clubs who could do it.
Exactly.
For them. That's what happens. Yeah. But
I'm just wanted to see what kind of manager gonna be at City when Pep Guardiola leaves.
Tuchel.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like what kind of I want to see the structure, because if he's creme de la creme of all the managers, the only way you go, and you're going down on a manager no matter who you pick.
True.
Look, City is gonna go down when Pep leaves. I just want us to be at that time not too far from top 4 so we can grapple that space. Because if we're gonna be way too far, there's other team that eager to do it. There's Newcastle has money now. There's what's the name? Arsenal climbing up the ladder. That's the pivotal point is gonna be when Manchester City, and believe me, when Pep is leaving, Manchester City is gonna go in the shambles for a couple of things. You know what I think? I think the luck part of the Manchester City, they had that players like De Bruyne, the lucky signings that they went for, and true football player, the real football player is De Bruyne, because they literally build the teams around this guy. Him, Gundogan, what's his name?
Bernardo Silva.
You see what I'm saying?
Rodri.
Those are the signings were way before Pep, and they will build the teams around it. There are specific players.
I think that's where people might get. I think we're trying to do that off the field, right? I think that's what he's trying to do by recruiting the technical director and stuff like that. So even if it doesn't work out with Potter, that side of the football club is stable, right? The management is never really stable, But Pep and Klopp are the longest serving managers, I think, nearly in all of Europe, let alone in England, where they've been at a club. But that's what I think they're trying to do off the field, like with this people are getting from Brighton, this Joe Shields guy, this was it Vivelli from? No, it's the Monaco guy, isn't it? I can't remember his name, Lawrence something.
Why is this Jewish fraud is talking to me on the chat?
What?
Hi.
Oh.
Good Lord. Good God, man.
Oh yeah, you know each other.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? Like, Alex, you are dish like there. He called me a recipe. Like, Alex, you are a Russian food dish, like national, like.
What the hell?
Oh, what? I didn't know what that was. Next time I go to a
It's
Russian
literally
restaurant,
it's a
I'll get some
dumpling. It's
pelmeni
Russian.
then.
It's a Russian
I'll get some-
dumplings.
I'll get some
I should
pelmeni
call
next
you.
time at a Russian
What's that
restaurant.
bread? What's the Jewish bread? Patza?
Matzah,
whatever.
bread?
Yeah, that's you, Kai.
I think he's upset.
This
that
guy.
fake diploma he sent to you the other day.
Well, bringing it back to the discussion. I mean,
Get it back on track. Come on, Mark.
Now he's saying, "Oh, it's a compliment." How's that a compliment? You
It's
call me
delicious.
it-
He likes it.
Oh, I didn't know you flowed
Like-
away.
He likes you. He likes you.
Marshall, get us back on track, please.
I'm trying. Hey, let's have it right.
Let's
all
have it right.
But anyways, like, so with the whole project too, like the other thing that I kind of disagree with what Alex is saying with the Man City thing. If Pep were to leave, I still think that there is somewhat of a structure within that Man City hierarchy that can
course
keep
it
it
is.
stable and kind of hold the next manager's hand, And I think also to defend what Scott's saying about the fans deserving this, I think it's because on Twitter you see a bunch of these fans that have been so like socially conditioned to be the whole Roman sack the manager immediately now they're not used to a project, but they want a project, but they can't have it both ways. So now that they're getting a project, now they're whining and moping and crying about, oh, the results, look at this, oh, my precious Tuchel, my precious this, look at what happened to him, and look at now what we have. And it's like, bro, give the guy time. Like, I know, Alex.
I am
know
a
you
bit
don't
like I'm a
Potter
bit
that
like
much.
that, but I'm not put out though.
No, and don't get me
No.
wrong. I love Tuchel. But you know what? I'll put this out there. I think in Tuchel in his first season, I think he overachieved by winning the Champions League. I really think he did.
With these players, yes.
Yes.
With these players,
For what we see up to now,
the
it's-
amount he
it's-
overachieved by actually have 80% of the possession in one game. Those players can control the ball for 80%. But yesterday we couldn't put the passes together.
They had 36% possession for 90 minutes against Arsenal.
Yikes.
We had 30 something. Actually, I
Yikes.
missed that game. Thank God I missed that game. It's so
Yeah,
dead.
no, you
What
didn't miss
kind of
anything,
fan
man.
are you,
We
man?
just-
I was literally
sad.
I physically
Wow,
couldn't
poor
watch the game.
ships,
He,
man, poor
he was
ships.
having a better game than Chelsea in his own football club, man.
I'm assuming,
But like,
yeah.
the thing is, like with Tuchel, like I think he overachieved, and I think now that since he overachieved, I think that set the bar so high that it makes every Chelsea fan put Tuchel on the pedestal. Which, mind you, Tuchel did a good job while he was at Chelsea. I'm not going to take that away from him, right? He won trophies. He was doing something good until the Real Madrid game, and then everything started to fall apart. Then, but I think having come from that high to now struggling through a project, and now we're going through a process. I just think it's what Scott's saying about the Chelsea fans. You guys deserve
It's just
this. Like,
small-minded. Like, you remember when
Yeah,
Tuchel
yeah.
first joined? Let's be real. No one was saying, Tuchel, go win the Champions League. We're all just saying, if we got back to top 4 and managed to end it there and salvage the season, we'll be all right.
No,
Now,
they were
Potters here,
saying.
We're
Lewis, they were
demanding
saying-
so much more. Sorry,
Lewis,
go
they
on.
were sa- they were saying, why did you sack Frank? He's
Oh,
he's
yeah.
legend at
Why
club.
don't you give him
What are you
time?
talking for?
Give him till the end of the season.
What's
I mean, to be
Tuchel
fair,
ever done? What's Tuchel
Hey,
I wanted to get Frank to the end of the season.
Tuchel, for me,
Well-
he has the backing of time, but Lampard.
Yeah.
Tuchel,
What-
what's
what-
Tuchel
what
ever
annoyed-
done for us?
What annoyed me mainly with the whole Tuchel thing was that,
Yeah.
and I do agree with what Alex said, is that you kind of back him in the summer. You give him the money.
Yeah,
You
I
then
agree.
allow him to pick certain profile players, even though it wasn't enough. We knew that it wasn't enough still to go into this season, and then you sack him. You know, it would have just made more sense to just get rid of him. So if you've got a project in mind, and I've got a feeling that Boehly, we already know that Boehly was probably talking to maybe Potter and co for a while before the sacking of Tuchel. In my opinion, I think there must have been some sort of discussion for how quick it moved in its way, but to do it in that moment and then go, right, we're doing a project right now and bringing a manager with, you know, on the back of Tuchel's being sacked at the, you know, pretty much at the beginning of the season, and then say to him, you know, do what you got to do, then the fan base have to be patient. It's just that I don't agree with the way that Tuchel got laid off, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, he could have done it. He could have just done it in the summer. That is the only thing I didn't like about it.
I 100% agree with that. If I had to put one thing on Boehly, it's the way you went about changing the managers was absolutely just wrong. But I even have people blaming Boehly for how the team is right now, when you have to realize that before this season, Boehly essentially came into this club and had to correct all the bullshit that Marina and Bruce Buck and Czech and the board had done in that club, getting rid of Romelu, getting rid of all the deadwood players that we had. The fact that we got rid of so many players, almost all of them except who's the one player that we have that's still
So you got rid of
lingering?
50% of them. We still got 50% left.
Well,
That's what I
well,
mean.
Before we slam the old regime,
Yeah.
do you think Todd Boehly would have as much to spend if he would have paid full price with additional 1.5 bill?
No.
Yeah, for that, no.
So please, let's not go and say like that old regime did that and that. They survived. They survived with the small stadium. I agree. The most of a stamp loan system, it works good when it works, when it doesn't affect your starting 11. But when those loanees all of a sudden becomes affecting your starting 11, it is a mistake. But the problem was, and the problem is, we still have a small stadium. We can't create money as much. And it's a big thing. So for Boehly to be spending that much money and give contracts for free to walk away, it has something to do with 1.5 bill, not millions, 1.5 bill that Roman is actually written off. So let's not go back and say that Roman
That
and
must have been
Aldridge.
part of the deal when Boehly took over via Roman. It must have been of like Roman wanted. Thing with Roman, and this is the one thing you can't knock him for. He's always tried to keep our standards higher, relevant to how bad we've been in the Premier League. And I don't think we've been domestically consistent. I think we can all agree with that. Even under the Roman era, we just didn't dominate as much as we should have, in my opinions. And there was question marks with the board, with the way that they dealt with
Of course
the previous managers
Always.
and letting them go and you know, switching them in the second season and whatever. We know that story. But, you know, it's a thing of like, you're right, Alex. Like, if he didn't write off that 1.5 billion, you may be not seeing us, you know, moving as soon as we are to sort out the stadium, which is something they're trying to maybe do at the end of next year, or, you know, in that summer window that they took over, spend the funds that they did spend or are looking to spend for the next 2 to 3 summer windows. We don't know. They might now be able to start utilizing and doing that. So these are all important things to Chelsea and the project and what they're trying to do now, and why we have to be patient, because we need
Exactly.
to see it, you know. So
I just don't want to be patient, like people were saying on the previous, like, oh, I'm okay with us not being in Europe for 3 seasons. I'm like, no, I'm not.
I don't know about that.
that drops our
You can hold it.
Yeah.
I don't care if your standards are that for you or for you. That's not my standards.
Yeah, no.
You'll always be getting Champions League for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the Chelsea club can go that deep. Like, we're not that bad of the team to not be somehow how you say it, decent. Like, I'm not saying we like Manchester City, but we cannot be outplayed by Aston Villa. We cannot be outplayed by Brighton.
Brighton.
You see what I'm saying? We're not like
We're not mid-table level, is what he's saying. Like we're just,
You guys, I got to bounce to another stream, but big up, guys.
See you later, Lewis.
Yeah,
Alright.
bro, good luck.
Later, Lewis.
Good luck, mate.
Not Johnny's. I've
Good
got
luck.
Gal.
Uh,
I've
Oh,
got
okay.
Gal.
All right.
Oh, I mean, good luck regardless.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
It's an Arsenal
Take care,
stream,
guys.
good luck.
Fucking minerals, bruv.
All right.
I wonder
Best
what
of
would be
luck to
worse
you,
than
bro.
on Johnny's or Gal's.
Probably a gal.
no.
Yeah.
It's an Arsenal
The gal's
thing.
really shameless right now.
Yeah, maybe.
But hey,
Go ahead.
we move.
Okay, got it. So I wanted to talk about I guess since we're talking about the project and being patient with the, you know, the team and how it's gonna mesh and how Potter's gonna work with the players, I bring it back to this. And Alex, I would like your opinion on this, and Jem, obviously chip in whichever way you want. Mason Mount, Kai Havertz. Do we give them time? Do we just get rid of him in the summer? Let's try to be like.
I'll let the fluff boy go first.
No, put the Twitter fan base aside. Let's try to have a realistic conversation about this.
I'm going to leave soon in a second anyway, so I'll say what I've got to say on it real
Go ahead,
quickly.
Jem.
I already kind of we spoke about it a little bit earlier, didn't we? About
Yeah.
their position in the team and whatever. And listen, I agree. It's either north or south when it comes to Kai Havertz and Mason Mount. You either slander him and you hate him and you don't even like to see him in the team, or you're very defensive and you think they're the best thing and generational and whatever. And there's not really a middle ground in it. The truth is, there has to be criticism of both these players. They're not they're not consistent, or at least consistent enough to show us that they don't deserve to be criticised. People still argue that they are still quite young. Maybe to a degree, I hear that to a degree. However, they're in a Chelsea squad where the standards are high, where we're expected to be challenging or moving forward, challenging for titles in the future. And if they want to be part of a current crop of players like Chelsea that we currently have, you know, and for the future when we improve, hopefully with the players coming in, they have to show their worth and they have to show their value. Now, the thing with Mason Mount is that in his first 2 seasons at Chelsea, he kind of set his own standards quite high. Not that they were that high in terms of the Chelsea standards, but if you look at where Chelsea were at as a team, so what Mason Mount was doing in the first 2 seasons, he played very well and he had very good games, and you know he stood up and he looked good. And from that position, I think he set his own standards to that limit. What happened then, and going into this season, is you started seeing a dip in that, whether it was to do with international football, whether it was because he's playing. I think Winter Surfer Ball saying that he's played 200 games already. He's only 23 or saying it's ridiculous. You know, he's like, that's too many games. The boy doesn't get a rest. You know, whether it's a mixture of not getting a rest, being overplayed, the fact that he will be inconsistent because he is still quite young, but also the fact that of the current crop of players we have in and around him as well, and how inconsistent they are, that we are always looking at Mason Mount to be the guy that digs us out. That's a problem in itself, because he shouldn't be that player that we should be looking at every game to be that Eden Hazard-esque type of player that's going to keep digging that. That doesn't happen. So for me, Mason Mount doesn't go anywhere. I think he is going to be at Chelsea, whether you like him or not. From a Chelsea standpoint, I think he will be here for the long term. I don't think he goes unless a manager really doesn't like him. And I mean, and let's be serious. What managers come through the door since Mason Mount's been here and said that doesn't play him? They all play him. They all seem to see something that they like in him. So if Potter is the man moving forward, I feel that Mason Mount will be here for the long term. In terms of Kai Havertz, I'll keep it short and sweet. He has to start turning up, because with Kai Havertz, it's a thing of like, I think he has talent. I know some people disagree. I think there is something there with him. I think there's a lot with his game. The problem with Kai Havertz is I don't think he suits what we currently have at Chelsea. And again, we look at him being the player that has to dig us out like yesterday and take players on and dribble. So we start now asking a player to do the attributes and have the ability to do things that he don't actually necessarily have. That's a problem in itself. And moving forward, whether we improve the squad and we keep him and we then see a more consistent Kai Havertz is yet to be seen. The issue with it now, and I'm talking about now, is that with the current crop of players and what we've seen since Kai Havertz has been here, it's hard to do that because not only him, because we know he's inconsistent. That's one of the biggest issues with him. Yeah, but everyone around him struggles to not only not have chemistry, but lack to have their own consistency in their own performances themselves. And if it doesn't go well by the end of the season, and he's got shit stats, this, that, and the other again, there might be a good opportunity for us to maybe sell him, or himself, maybe putting himself up to get out of the football club. And maybe someone like Bayern or whatever knocks on the door and takes him. And if he goes there and he plays in a system that suits him around what I will say better players, I think you will see that he'll probably do quite well. I just don't think we will probably see it at Chelsea from what we're seeing at the moment, because we're not set up in a specific way to see the best of certain individuals. That's it for me. Whether you think he's shit or he's not good enough for Chelsea or whatever,
for me it's
up to you guys. I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you on that. That's
look,
you know what I mean?
Jem, for me it's more about the priority. It's a priority, like Mason Mount contract based on priority. Like if, for example, you can get rid of Mount, you can get rid of Kai Havertz before you get rid of Ziyech, before you get rid of Pulisic, before you get rid of the players that actually want to leave. Why are we talking about the players that we need to get rid of if we have players that want to leave but they're still there? So for me, get rid of the players that want to leave. Then I would like to help you to tell you, do we need to resign those two or not? If I will know what system Harry Potter is playing,
well,
then we can start adjusting the players and see, okay, I don't think this player can play in this situation. I don't think this player can play in this situation. So all of that, it's moot point, because we don't. Please tell me what system he's played, so I can tell you if we play in the 3, whatever, 5, whatever.
4, whatever.
Yeah, we're not. Those players not needed. It's
because he's mixing and matching, Alex, like what Tuchel did. The same thing where we would sit there before a game and we go, what the fuck are we going to, how are we going to line up? We're going to do 4, 3? We don't know.
That's exactly what, people saying that they are two different managers. They so exactly the same manager. It's shocking how they look like. They set up, like, please tell me when Tuchel was making lineup, did anybody guessed ever?
No, it was always
exactly. Same thing with Potter.
Playing
So how shocked are we? Wing backs.
That's true.
And like, it's tactical
why do you
genius,
think
inverted wing backs.
Why do you think managers, both of these managers, are doing what they're doing? Is it just because that we suffer from injuries and having to try and find systems to accommodate players, or is it that we just got players that are so chalk and cheese that we try and put him in a system or one system and it benefits some and just not the other?
Tuchel played it because he knew our limitation. Harry Potter is playing because he's too weak to make his stand. If you look at the Mason Mount and Potter conversation in the Championship League game when Kai Havertz scored that worthy, you can see those guys are friends. Like, those not manager. You see what I'm saying? Like there's something to say about, like, I'm not saying Mount is poor or bad player or anything. Like, he's a decent squad player. He's not something special, but he's a decent player. So for dude, I think it's all about the manager. What he sees as how we play. So how we can talk about does he need the extra contract or not? If we don't know how we're gonna play, please tell me system or structure that we play in, and I'll tell you if Mount is in it or not. That's simple.
And I think Havertz and Mount playing the sort of same. And I think another real problem is that I think Havertz and Mount kind of want to do the same thing, and they're both.
They two tweaks. They Jorginho and Kovacic
each other's way
up front. They literally Jorginho, Kovacic up front. They want to hold each other's hands. They need to be at the hands reach. It's the relationship on the hand reach. You cannot go far enough from me. They occupy same space. They follow each other like a freaking a couple. Jorginho, Kova, same as they occupy the same space.
They kind of don't.
That relationship needs to be broken up.
Yeah. I mean, look, we'll see. Listen, we're not going to. I keep saying I'm going to go now, anyway. But with the Potter thing, we're not going to see Potter. We're not going to see Potter ball this season. You might see.
What's Potter ball?
Yeah, exactly. What is it? I don't think we're going to.
What you saw at Brighton, maybe.
What did I see at Brighton?
I didn't watch Brighton.
Thomas Tuchel with
No, but let's be serious, guys. Every manager that does come into a football club has a system and a style that they want to play. Sometimes you just can't do that because of certain profile of players that you
I
have.
wish
at
he
your
would
disposal.
have guts
No.
and do that. That
Yeah,
will show me
I
at
agree.
least I
Yeah.
see him saying, you know what, this is how we play. I want a better play from those players. Put the guts out. You got 5-year contract. You're not gonna have a better time than the first year to establish your authority.
Show your worth is the big thing, isn't it? And if you don't show your worth, then they're not going to be here. And that's why, again, I still feel that there's a lot of players in this team that we do need to clear out. And why we're so far away from where we want to be is because we miss so many, not only depth in the squad, but even in the first level, we miss so many specific profile players that allow us to play to the level that we want to do. And we're not going to see that, anytime soon. But I'm going to shoot anyway. I'll take care, guys, man. I'm going to
See you
shoot.
later.
Jim,
Yeah.
good
Okay,
points,
Jim, man.
brother. Let's
Yeah,
have you
yeah,
back on soon, okay?
Yeah, no worries. See you later. Claire,
All right.
before I go, peace. It's not even there.
He is there.
Oh, what did you say? I couldn't hear you, bro.
You just said peace to you.
I said peace.
Ah, peace,
I'm
man.
sure you ate your
I love
steak
you, Jim.
today, so
I
I'm
love
sure
you,
you're
bro.
having a happy day because you just had a steak and yeah.
You need to come to Prague, bro. You need to come to Prague, man.
I'll come, mate. I'll come. I'll give you.
You
I'll
need to,
give
you
you
need
a
to, bro.
message on WhatsApp.
It'll be a good time, man.
No worries. Take care. See you later.
Take care, bro.
Have a
Good
good
seeing
one,
you.
Jim. All right, let me read the super chat GoAM sent it a while ago. I just didn't want to interrupt the flow of the conversation. Sorry, GoAM. So thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Graham Poulis getting bullied by my idol Mason Milner into starting every game. Imagine if we actually got a real superstar like Neymar or Mbappe. Well, you know what? Funny enough, I'm glad you said that, GoAM. I was gonna say, like, do you guys think, like, let's just go back into a time capsule, right? And we bring Mason Mount and Kai Havertz with us, right? Back in the days when Lampard were playing, Terry, all of them, Drogba. Do you think that Havertz and Mount are just so prominent in this team right now because we don't have that many better options? But if they were
No.
playing in a team like back in those days, they would have just
No.
been in the bench and gotten their appearances every now and again?
Man might
Kai,
not have been
you
in
s-
it.
Should I go first?
Go
Or
on.
Alex?
Go ahead. Yeah, you said no, so.
No. I think these guys are just likable, so they start every week, man. If you give other people opportunities, they will do better, man. It's for me, man. It's just I don't know what is it with them, man. Because like I was like maybe they're good on the ball, then I watch Havertz slip on the ball. Maybe they're good at keeping the ball. Then I see Mount lose the ball every time he gets it.
I knew you're
I'm like,
gonna
is it the
bring that.
haircut, bro? Like, I don't
The
see
guy
it, bro.
slipped.
Okay. Everyone
Guy-
slipped, but he brings up Kai slipping. But yeah,
He
I
slipped
get
on
it, I get it.
purpose.
You see that? I was oh shit, he's gonna do some amazing pass and he slipped, bro.
He's laughing so hard at that slip, man.
Bro, I would have walked out, man. I would have walked out the stadium, man. Just get it up.
Oh my days.
I don't think they would have lasted in Jose Mourinho's
No, I
team at all.
think the bench, I think the like the players will teach him properly. You see what I'm saying? I don't think. You see, that's the problem. If you put the freaking the weight of the club on the 20 years old, because that's when Mount and Kai Havertz showed up at Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's way too much weight for the club for the players to be like. Why not Frank Lampard?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
not
they're
John
not, man.
Terry?
Don't you feel that's kind of what happened to them though when they joined the
Yes,
club?
not feel. I
And that's
know
why-
they were
yeah.
mismanaged.
Yeah.
Please
yeah,
tell me
I-
what position did Kai Havertz actually played? He's been
Mm-hmm.
thrown everywhere. Mount
Even as a
Mount
number
been
8.
shoved in every hole at that Chelsea.
Bro, I swear to God, these guys are like Rihanna, man. They just change haircuts and they play the same way,
waiting to see
man.
Mason Mount at wing back.
Oh
I
my God.
want to see that.
Oh my
No,
God.
seriously, but they've
Man said
been
every hole.
mismanaged. They've been
No, yeah, you're
mismanaged.
right.
Phil
Yeah.
Foden
Yeah.
is not main player on Man City
Mm-hmm.
because
You don't need to. Like, you literally got Kevin De Bruyne,
You have De
Bernardo,
Bruyne, you have Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez,
Mahrez.
Sterling
Grown
at
ass
the time,
man.
you know, like,
Sterling at time,
grown
yeah.
ass men. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I think a lot of the hate, and of course, like the criticism is deserved. I agree with like what you're saying, Kai, Ahmed, everyone on this panel with the standard and everything. I just think that like First of all, these players shouldn't even be playing, shouldn't be starters for Chelsea. We should have better players in their position, and they should be coming in to play every now and again, kind of how like Foden was managed at City.
Yeah, but they do, and I hate them, man, for it. Shoulda, woulda, it doesn't matter, bro. You have to take responsibility. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's
you
like
know it. If Jorginho gets the extra 5-year contract, my God.
Alex
I
is
will
walking
miss
off,
you.
bro.
Ah, man.
To be fair to Jorginho, though, he's been the only one that's been showing up to his job consistently. He's managing all the books and getting all the accounts set up and shit. Meanwhile,
he showed me more guts than those two.
Fucking...
He did show me more guts than those two at Arsenal game. He did. He did show me more guts than those pricks.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Does that mean more about Jorginho or more about them, man?
Nothing. That's a good question. But no, I'm just saying, like, as much as I don't like Jorginho, but he actually had a guts. He had the attitude at that game. He was not giving up. Those two, like you said, sleeping on a freaking wet surface.
You know what? It feels like the...
How bad was it? I missed all this.
Just watch the game, Chris. If you really want to know, just watch the game.
I honestly seen
what
the
are you
one
saying,
man.
man? What are you saying, Ahmed? How you doing, man? It's been a while since you've been here. How you doing,
Ahmed, that hairline is looking good, bro.
Listen, my head's
growing back, man.
No, my head's in a ponytail right now because I'm wearing a headband, so I don't usually I'm wearing my headphone in it, so that's why I always put it back like this. But hey,
I trust you, bro. I trust you, man.
No,
That's a bully.
Trust the process; it'll grow.
Go back there, man.
We'll call it Harry Potter had a line.
Ahmed right now is just like. Go ahead, Ahmed. I'll let you talk.
Listen,
Ahmed, if your hairline was mouth, you would be behind Jorginho, bro.
no.
You know that it's funny because it doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
What does that mean?
Yeah, you can't.
Go ahead, bro.
What does that mean? It will be behind Jorginho.
Think about it, Alex. Think about it, bro.
The thing is, I'll be sort of,
You're wrong.
I was watching the game, and something that is like really like occurring to me is also like a lot of these guys, man. They don't. Just like I don't know if it's like lethargy or something like that. They don't want to run anymore, man. These guys, they're not running. They're not. There's nothing battling. There's no desire. You know what I mean? I find it ironic to say something like that. You know, I cuss people up for saying the fucking desire, intensity, nonsense. Yeah, but on some level, when you look at the squad, like a game against Arsenal, for all intents and purposes, is a top 6
I do
game.
have an explanation.
Yeah,
I have an explanation. I just figured it out.
Oh shit!
There you go, man.
Can you imagine? No. Can you? Do you know what's the reason why they don't want to run? Can you imagine for the past year and a half you've been yelled at by German guy like every Russian has a PTSD from listening to Germans yelling. It sounds like.
I guess you have that in common.
Yell at you at the sideline like.
I guess you have that in common with. I guess you have that in common with us, the Jews, bro.
Now Harry Potter, he's just sitting over there, and we're like, "Oh, he's not yelling. That means that we're doing good."
And the thing is, like a lot of these players, they're now getting played, whether you want to admit or not, in their preferred positions, allegedly, that Tuchel is not playing them. And, you know, they've been given chances now, and they've been playing more than 4 to 5 games in these positions. The reality is, this squad is not good enough. I've always maintained that the majority of them are good enough. It's only like 2 to 3 players that you're going to keep, if you're going to do an actual real build of the squad. Let's be real. Look, I'm pretty sure all of us here can agree on that, but the question is, you know, we're going to be stuck with these guys at least until the end of the season. So where do we move forward? Because I know, for example, if we lose against Man City and lose against Newcastle, I've maintained the point that could be like a sorry week. You know what I mean? Where we had the week where he lost to Bournemouth, then he lost to City, and I think it was like a 10-0 scoreline basically. And then all the whole family's like point out, well, it shouldn't even be a Karen. But generally, I've maintained, if they can bring in like one midfielder, like a backup six or something, and like a right back replacement, maybe that can help us at least see out until top 4. But there has to be some honest and hard hitting questions need to be asked in 2023 somehow. Like, what are we going to do about the squad? What is going to happen? Who are we taking out of the squad? And who we transferring in and who we transferring out. That has to be all done in that summer.
Yeah, I mean, Alex did bring this up earlier about it's hard to say which players are going to leave and which players should stay, considering we really don't know right now what Potter Bowl even is. So I'm hoping that after this World Cup, we see more of an identity. I'm not saying that is what's gonna happen, but I'm hoping that that's what starts to happen, because like right now I don't against Arsenal yesterday we did look clueless. All of us came in here, we all set a different formation. That alone shows that we don't even know we can't even decide as a fan base what is in cohesion, what is going on the pitch. And as for the other players too, like it's hard because on one hand, and it's hard for me to fucking say this alone, like on one hand, as much as I love Kai Havertz, I think he should be leaving the club in the summer if he keeps playing like this. Yeah, he had a decent last 2 to 3 games. I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm not gonna cry about it. It sucks, but I'm not gonna cry about it. I can just watch him play wherever he's gonna play. But at the end of the day, like, when you look at it, like, okay, his last 3 games were okay, but there's okay and then there's Chelsea level, So it's just like, okay is not enough either. But then again, he's only 23. I'm not expecting him to be Kevin De Bruyne at his age. But
who's 23?
That's just my Havertz.
Oh yeah,
Havertz. So and I think and I think that's the other thing too.
24.
Yeah, he's gonna be 24 in January.
One more year.
But that's the other thing I was saying before. Like, we don't have players in their position that are in their prime that are playing really well, so they have to be forced to play. And I feel like the Chelsea fan base, in their heads, want them to be the finished product, want them to be Kevin De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva or you fucking name it, Salah or whatnot, right? But they're not those players yet. Maybe they will be in the future.
Marshall, I'm gonna give you a nice metaphor. Yeah.
Go ahead, Kai.
Let's say every morning. I
already tagged it. Kai's metaphor.
Squeeze your asshole because it's coming.
Listen. Come on, guys. Come on. Be respectful, man. Be respectful.
I'm bracing myself. Kai, your metaphors are impactful.
Yeah, just listen to it, man. Let's say every day you make an omelet, right? Does that mean in 3 or 4 years you're gonna be a chef? You're gonna be Aaron Ramsey, bro? No. Same thing with these players, bro. Just because they play a little bit of football doesn't mean they're gonna be Kevin De Bruyne, bro.
There's an L, man.
They're not. They might be a tasty omelet, bro, but they'll never be a Kevin De Bruyne, bro.
A few eggs to make an omelet.
I can tell you what, if you make an omelet for so many years, you're gonna be expert in omelets, man.
But
there's breakfast places that make really good omelets, man. I can work in there. You never know. Yeah, I can have an omelet bar. You never know. Hey, I thought you were gonna make that. Remember that reference you made with the beef and the steak? And I told you, bro, I can make a good meal with beef, man.
Marshall, I don't believe you, bro. I don't believe you.
You know how easy to make steak? Just salt, pepper, put it on the fire.
There you go. Fine. No, you got to get it. You got to get it right. You got to get that medium rare in the middle.
Yeah.
Well done.
There you go.
Chris, you don't even eat beef, bro. You only eat chicken, bro.
You only eat sheep.
How do you know? No, I do not eat sheep. Nothing actually.
Sheep is delicious, bro.
Nope, I don't eat lamb or nothing like
See,
that.
We haven't had that for months. You know what I mean? The sheep stuff, Chris, because he hasn't
No,
been on there as a streamer.
Bro, Sterling have never been the same ever since that arc, man. They have never been the same, man.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
He got choked.
My throat's killing me, man.
Okay,
Scott is
pause.
here.
Yeah, I think Scott's been on the phone for the past. I haven't heard a pipe from Scott.
Scott is doing sales, man.
Yeah, he's doing his sales. Let him do his sales, man.
Are you
He's
working
better
for
than being
Potter?
a Chelsea fan right now. Yeah, he might be. He's fucking selling Michy Batshuayi. He's still on loan.
No.
I give up on that man. He's never leaving that guy. I'll tell you that.
Wait, we haven't sold him.
No, he's still
on
in
loan.
the, he's still in the books.
loan,
Yeah.
I thought we sold
He's
him.
one of the few that stayed in the books.
Yeah, he
Who's-
gets a
who's-
rolling
Batshuayi,
one-year-
I thought-
Michy Batshuayi.
No, he's got
Oh,
a rolling
Batman.
one-year contract.
Batman.
Remember when he hit the ball?
Wait, how many?
in the
How long
post?
contract?
He's got a 1-year rolling contract. I swear, man. Every summer he signs a new 1-year extension.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
We're just trying to get the 10
But-
million, aren't we?
I hope you're making money in it, man. I hope you're making money.
I've been here 7 years.
No, he's money laundering, bro. That's what he
I
is.
know it is, man.
Yo,
I'm
man.
telling you, man. That sport, Roman Abramovich. I'm telling you, man. This guy was money laundering, just like
Him-
Man City.
Him and Divock Origi are raking it in, bro. They are
Bro,
cutting it.
you know
Look at-
you know when I knew he's a waste of money when I saw him
Have
in
you signed
SpongeBob boxers, bro. I was like, this guy, man.
I respect him, Craig.
Why do we always sign the
No, I
weirdos,
saw it
bro?
when he's at the World Cup, hit the post, and hit himself in the face.
Yeah.
No, he picked up the ball and he smashed out the post, didn't he? Yeah.
Bro, we have players
Oh yeah.
dressing like accountants, collecting
Oh.
donkeys. What's wrong with this club,
The
bro?
ironic thing,
Only Batshuayi,
if he actually kicked him with a foot, it would have gone wide. So exactly, you know.
Oh my days, guys.
7
but what I was gonna say to Ahmed's point before we were completely derailed was pretty much yeah. Well, it's gonna be tough to see what Potter's gonna do. I look. I'm gonna ask you guys this. It's a project. Right now, I'll be happy if we get top 4. But I'm willing. I'm willing to not get top 4 only for one season, only for this season. If it means that we're gonna be like Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal.
You will never
in the
be like
next
Man
few
City, bro.
years.
Stop it, bro.
I will say, if we don't get top 4, please don't get Europa League or Conference League 2. I don't want to be.
Just get 10th, man. Get 10th.
Just
like we did
no,
last
no,
time.
yeah,
I don't
no,
know about
eighth-
10th
no,
either.
no, 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 no.
gotta
If
get
we
something.
don't, no, if we don't get
Chris, you
Champions
just want
League,
to play
If
less
we
games, man.
play,
You're so lazy.
we're gonna be
No,
15.
yeah, no, fuck the Europa League. We won that twice and been in it twice. Don't need to do that. And
I'd
the
rather
Conference
be
League is a
15th
slap.
than play the Conference League. I'll
Yeah,
tell you that.
exactly.
All right, fine, fair enough.
Listen,
That is
I
kind
said
of
10th. I
embarrassing.
said 10th. Just
I
to
don't
repeat
wanna
what we
play-
did last year.
I don't want to play Midtjylland and Club Cluj.
I want to go
Chile.
to respectfully. I don't want to go to Azerbaijan or Sheriff or Cyprus. Yeah, on
You're
a
not
Thursday.
going over there in the first place, Ahmed. Stop.
I
I'm
don't
not
want
lying.
to
going there.
see
I'm just saying I don't want the team to go there. You know what I mean? So let's be real, man. Let's be real.
I'm tired of these 5:55 kickoff on Thursdays. I don't want that anymore.
That's
Do
good point,
you think the Barca fans are happy they're seeing Barcelona at Europa League now?
2
Yeah,
o'clock
we're
on
playing Man
Sunday.
United.
Yeah,
But you
2
know
o'clock
what? The
on Sunday.
thing is, man, there's a
Yeah,
serious
but
chance we
but
won't
Barca's
get
gonna be
top
in Champions League next season, bro. We all know it, man. Come on, man.
four. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Of course we are.
Not with Xavi.
Bro,
Not with Xavi.
West Ham will get Champions League in the league, man.
Exactly. He's right. No matter
Yeah,
what
there's
you do, this they
There's two
have
solid
settled
teams.
2 seats always.
Yeah. Hang on, company.
It's 4. Remember, La Liga gets 4 places. There's
Yeah,
only 2
I
or 3 teams. 2 or 3
Yeah,
teams fight for first
I
place.
swear, Sevilla
four
filed
get
for
the
bankruptcy for
championship.
like 3 years now, man. They're working on
Yeah,
food
that
stamps,
doesn't
bro.
matter. It's-
And they're still in the top 4, man.
We know what this league thinks about finances. It doesn't care. It doesn't
Filed
care
for
about-
bankruptcy for like 3 years now, man. They're working on
Yeah,
food
that
stamps,
doesn't
bro.
matter. It's-
And they're still in the top 4, man.
I think we know what this league
Wait,
thinks about
wait.
finances. It doesn't
Yeah,
care.
we're
Filed for
echoing.
bankruptcy.
Whoa!
Hold on, Scott,
Scott,
you're
that's a bit
echoing, bro.
creepy,
I had to mute you. I'm sorry.
I thought Mike was I thought
That
Kai
was
was talking through like
clear
I don't
echo,
know, like
too.
a cup or something.
Apologies.
There you go. You're good
Welcome
now.
back,
You're good.
Scott.
Welcome back.
Forgot I still had the stream open. Apologies. Yeah, I was trying to call.
Scott, did
Don't
you
worry,
get your
Scott.
sale?
Jesus loves you.
No,
Did
I
you
wasn't
make your
working. I
sales,
was
Scott?
going to call my girlfriend.
Oh, there you go.
Ah.
Did you still get your sale?
Okay.
What kind of work are you doing at 12:30 p.m., bro?
I was gonna say I ain't working now, bro.
Well,
For sure.
30 a.m.
Hours
It's
ago.
not p.m.
Lord's work.
Lord's work. Scott, what you saying, man? Are you feeling better since yesterday's
He
game, bro?
wants us to suffer.
Yeah, I want us to suffer. Still want the
Yeah.
fan base to suffer. Yeah, I feel okay. Like at the end of the day, this fan base is what it is. Like, it ain't gonna change. So who cares? Like, I just don't care. Like,
Why?
The-
Why you want my kids to suffer? Because if I'm suffering, my kids suffer.
I don't think it's like when I say this
Chain
fan base.
reaction
this is the
here,
thing.
Scott.
When I say the fan base, I don't necessarily mean like in each individual person.
I know
Like,
what you say.
It's more like I want
balls.
I want the majority of this fan base, which are full of dickheads, to suffer.
You
'cause
want
they
Johnny.
deserve it.
You want Johnny to suffer, aren't you?
Yeah, like I do.
Let's have it
I want
right.
people like him who call these players generational and think they're on the level of where they should be winning league titles, even though they're barely good enough to
Fucking
get
minerals,
Europa
bub.
Conference League. They're not. They're barely good enough to get Europa Conference League, never mind league titles. And it's like they big them up for this. It's like, yeah, cool. You can suffer then. You can watch us get pammed. Like we should lose 5-0 to Arsenal, but we're lucky it's only 1. You can watch us get pammed by Newcastle at the weekend. You can watch us come back and somehow scrape a result against Forest just to get pammed by whoever else we're facing after that. Like you can all hold that. Like all the people like in like his group and like the people that think like him, like you can all hold that. All of you.
What about Alex's kids, man? Please.
All I'm saying is, in times of war, there are unfortunate casualties, and I'm afraid that it's just an unfortunate casualty.
I know. There is a friendly fire there.
As they say it in Hot Fuzz, it's for the greater good. It's for the greater good.
Oh my days! I gotta get Antonio Conte on this soundboard, man. With all the suffering that you're asking for.
Yeah, sometimes
But-
they shit, sometimes they good.
Yeah.
That one too. That one
The
too.
needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
You think
bro.
you think this
There
is
we go.
funny? No, you think that, with all seriousness, if the Chelsea plays, for example, if Chelsea plays, and my wife with kids like going to church or somewhere, and they coming back, my wife will check the score to see what mood I.
Yeah. No, what she'll do is she'll see a big hole in the side of the house, right? And then she'll go online and check the Chelsea score, and then she'll realise why the hole's in there in the first.
I understand.
Oh,
I understand.
And then what she'll
You
do,
think
like,
it's funny? Like she will deliberately go to grandma's house, stay there for an hour with kids just because of
let him calm down. Let him calm down.
Dad needs a space. Papa needs a space.
He needs an hour's
Bro.
drive space. That's what he needs. An
If-
hour's
if-
drive
if
away
Ch-
space.
If Chelsea keep going on like this, man, I'm gonna end up like DT, bro. I swear to God.
why are you gonna beat up the poor Ukrainian girl?
Oh no!
Crikey,
I'm more like.
But I will not because I'm a kind, loving soul, bro.
That's
I'm
not
literally
true.
Mother Teresa, bro.
When you sleep,
This guy, bro.
When you sleep. All right, but just to clarify, Scott, I just want to clarify your position on the whole Graham Potter thing. You do think in the long run, or at least you hold that in the long run, Graham Potter could improve this team and get results, right? You're willing to wait for the project. You just this season is kind of like a throwaway for you.
Because I think as well is like we have no choice as a fan base. Like the owner, for better or for worse, sacked the previous manager who for me was better than Potter. That's not to say Potter's a bad manager, as Tuchel was better than him. I also think this is the problem with our team, is the fact that you had a manager in who was Tuchel, who was better at masking the deficiencies of these players, whereas now we've got a manager who I think is a good manager, but I don't think is able to mask the deficiencies and nearly as good enough, which now we're seeing the deficiencies, and it just makes everything worse. But he's now put his faith in this guy by giving him a 5-year contract. He's put the people in place behind him, especially by bringing the likes of Carl McCauley and the goalkeeping coach, whose name I forget, from Brighton with him. Those are key positions, especially considering like you've got a goalkeeping coach brought in because both it's key because both goalkeepers lack in certain areas. You've got a recruitment guy in because we lack in that area. So you've brought key people. It's not like they've just brought like his like number 2 in and like a couple of the training guys. Like
his whole team.
Like he's brought a decent amount of people in. So you've put your faith in him. Like, so this has to work in a way where like we have to give it time. Like we can, like obviously, I know basically no one on this panel I think is like fully Potter out or anything, but it's like
Ahmed
Yeah.
is.
Oh, definitely.
even
Yes,
if
definitely.
we were, like, it's just stupid to have that mindset, because like, what are we expecting him to change now? Like, what are we expecting to change? What are we expecting anything different? Like I said, we had a better manager before, and things still weren't going smoothly. So now we've got a worse manager than Tuchel. I mean, not a bad manager, but like a worse manager than we had. Are people thinking it's going to get better straight away? No, of course not, because that's not realistic. Like, that shouldn't be realistic. Like, if people think that's just how it's going to work all the time, then that's just not it. Doesn't always happen that way. But yeah, we've got to put our faith in him. We've got to put patience with him, because there is no other choice. Like, if we sack him now, it just makes Boehly and Clearlake and all of them just look stupid. It just makes them look incredibly dumb, and it makes this season a complete waste of time. We will have wasted yet another season. Like, I already think the season's a write-off from the perspective of, I don't think we're going to win anything, but I think this season can have an effect depending on January. But if we sack Potter this season, or even halfway through next season, it's a waste. This whole season is a waste of time. It's a complete waste of time.
Did you guys hear what the director said about being a completely different team by February?
He said there's a war under the bridge. That you're talking about.
Is that Barnard? Is that Barnard?
The bold guy. Yeah. The bold guy.
I don't know his name, man. The Baldy, man.
Hey, come on. There's loads of Baldies, isn't there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but our Baldy, bro.
You will make
the
it
Baldy
good,
was relevant to us.
Good that Andrew. You will make it good over there. You'll fit right in.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna shave it soon. It's gonna go all up.
Well, bold.
Do you know what I don't understand though? Like with
Professor X. That's what I'm
Make sure you grow a beard.
Professor 5X. That's what they call me. That's what I'm saying.
You white money.
Yeah.
If you pull that hair, it will be white money.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you're not Professor
I'll be
Triple Underage X, like somebody we know, bro.
Non-offensive Geordie. That's what I'll be. A non-offensive Geordie. That's what I'll be. Yeah.
Oh, dear me.
This panel today has been such banter. Scott, what are you saying, bro?
I just say, like, with this comment from Graham, I don't understand, like, when people say about the pedigree, I don't understand it, because like every manager has to start from somewhere. Like Pep, for example, was managing the Barcelona B team at the time. Like, you had Mourinho, learned under Bobby Robson, and was given a chance by Porto, and then he did wonderful things. But they have to start somewhere. Like,
but you can't compare him to Lampard and Stevie G, bro. You can't.
But
it's like
Tuchel started low as well.
He's not that level anyway. But there is going to be a starting block. Like, you have to give these guys a chance at some point, because they've got to start somewhere. Like, they've just got to start somewhere. That's how all managers start. They will be given a chance somewhere, and it's making it work. Zidane as well, another one, managed the Real Madrid Castilla team and then was given a chance because of the work he did with the Castilla team, and it happened to work, and he did really good things with Madrid. But they have to be given a chance. And it's like with Tuchel as well. We talk about how good he was. He ended up as good as he did because teams gave him a chance. Augsburg gave him a chance. Mainz gave him a chance. Dortmund gave him a chance to take over from like one of their most successful managers. Like, he was given chances, and it's like, you have to do that with these managers. Potter's never going to get to a level where I think he can get to in the future of being, a quality manager in the Premier League, definitely being capable of managing any top 4 team. We don't know if he's going to get there if no one gives him that chance.
But one thing about him, agree with you. One problem though, when he goes after the game and make comments, like him,
comments are dumb. I will not defend those. They're dumb. Like, I can understand.
Mount likes to play. He likes to play to the south of form.
Yeah, those are.
He's a good boy, Mount. He's a good boy.
The way that I like to think about things, I like to try and work out or explain why someone does something. That's just how I am as a person. So I can explain why he made some of those comments. I don't agree with them; they were dumb. But I can understand to a certain extent some of the comments he made. And I think if this was a different time period, if this is a few months down the line, even a year down the line, he makes different comments if we were to have a result like that. So I can understand to an extent. They were still dumb. Like, they're just stupid comments that you shouldn't make, especially the Mount ones. Like, those are
so stupid, bro. I looked at him and I'm like, I want to slap him, bro.
I can't lie to you, even like some of the interviewers' question, like the one was like, "Oh, it looks like your players know
what you're doing."
That was funny, though.
Yeah, that was nice. That was. And like the way
that was thick.
Yeah, that was.
Bro, his face was like somebody said something about his mom, bro. His face was like, I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
That was not nice, man.
Oh,
Nice.
I
What is it?
wanted him, you know what? I wanted him to say, yeah, so what? Shut up, prick. No, you should have said,
Wait.
you shut up, yeah? You shut up. You're
Wait,
privileged
was
to
it
allow
Matt
you-
Law? Was it Matt Law who said that?
No, it wasn't.
No.
It was I don't know. It was someone else. Matt Lawson.
Liam Toomey? I think it was Liam Toomey, wasn't it?
He started on Thiago Silva yesterday.
No.
No.
Yeah,
It's
that's
probably like a
good.
newspaper
Thiago.
journal. It's usually a newspaper journal at the post press conference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a walking
Yeah,
Twitter
that's-
account.
the people going after Thiago Silva are just the dumbest people. This man is suffering because he's had to carry us on his back for the whole season so far.
Shouldn't be
And he's
playing
now
this, man.
suffering, and people are going after him. Like,
He's producing Hall of Fame performances, man, in the back. He's been doing it for
If
the
He
last
likes
2
to
years.
play and get into the rhythm.
Okay, can you stop?
That's
Yeah,
literally what Johnny
genuinely,
actually said.
if he keeps going how he's going at the end of the season, he'll literally have no knees.
Get into the rhythm.
You wouldn't think it would unless he's just not human, because he's 38 years old and he's like playing every game, Champions League game to league game, and now he's got the World Cup to come up to as well. Like, he's got a lot of games coming up.
Sheesh. Yeah, that guy needs a
Yo, and the thing is,
vacation.
Brazil's a good team, man.
He should.
He might. They
Yeah,
might
that Brazil, I say that Brazil team is so good. Like that Brazil team is so
I
If
think
he
good.
gets to the final,
Argentina's better team.
goes to the final.
I haven't
one
seen
week
the
straight.
I haven't seen the Argentina squad. I've only saw the Brazil one.
Argentina looks okay.
Has it come out the Argentina squad?
I'll be honest. Prior to this season, I thought Brazil's team was overrated. Now that this season we have Jesus, Richarlison, and all of them stepping up.
Which
Even
will
Martinelli
not
going
touch the
down.
surface.
By the way, did you guys see the
They
Reese
will not start
news?
for Brazil.
Yeah,
No.
dude, I hope. I don't
He's
want him
good,
going.
man. I hate to
He
see
does-
it going, man.
We've already got in terms of.
But it's good for us, Scott. He's gonna be back
You
like
know, I
earlier than
agree. I don't think he should be
Oh.
going. Like, it's good for us, but like, I don't want him going to the World Cup. Like,
Nah,
we've already got
respectfully,
three-
I don't care if England
Right,
never
I
plays
think
football again, bro.
3 weeks. Reports
it's like
James
3
back
weeks,
in
yeah.
3 weeks.
Apparently,
If
Yeah,
it's
England
3 weeks-
England have Trent. Oh, go on.
If it's 3
Hey,
weeks,
I was going to say
that
they've got
means-
Trent, they've got Trippier, they've got Walker. I think Walker's going to be fit by the World
that-
Cup.
if it's 3 weeks, he will miss
Like-
he misses the entire group stage, and he's not match fit.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point? What's the point? Just
Vibes,
Take
innit?
it.
It's vibes.
Play the
Literally.
quarterfinals.
England probably be out in the first knockout stage or
Well,
second one.
But just leave it, bro, man. Just
Yeah.
leave it.
They're not
It's
Wales,
worth
bro.
it. It's not worth
You know
it.
what?
Wales might not make it through.
Arsenal fan, you can have your day, but at the end of the day, we have 2 Champions Leagues and you
All
have
you need
none.
is to get invaded, bro. Give
Hey,
it to you.
The Arsenal fans are coming in. You don't know what.
Hey, hang on, does that-
you
I
don't know.
can't even like.
So
I
you
can't even
beat
say
us-
anything to Arsenal fans, man.
So you
No,
beat
you
us
guys
to-
having a good season. I can't, it's
So-
Bro, it's not even a
Season.
season. It's like not even quarter of a
You're
season
having a
yet,
good
bro.
half of the season.
Quarter.
Not even half. We have
They-
two.
they-
Third, yeah, it's
Arsenal
third.
beat
It's
us-
1/3.
Arsenal
You know
beat us
what?
in the
You know.
league game.
You know
It's
what?
1/3, exactly 1/3.
Does he think Arsenal bad? Chelsea.
Andrew, say what you're gonna say.
I mean, Arsenal haven't finished above us in what? 8 years? something
How
like
many
that?
years?
Yeah.
You beat us.
Yeah.
You beat us. You beat us 3 times in a row, but apparently London is red. Wait a minute. So because Brentford beat you last season, does that mean London is whatever colour they are? You know
Red and
what I mean?
white.
Red and white, yeah.
Candy
red and
cane.
white.
Candy cane. That
Yeah, I
is.
know, yeah.
London is candy cane.
London is
Oh.
candy cane. Yeah. London is red because
wow.
London is red because you beat us. Okay.
But we won the FA Cup against you in the final. I'm like,
okay.
fuck, you won the FA Cup, bro.
Everyone beat us in the final FA Cup. Leicester, Liverpool, like
Yeah, exactly.
Tiny ass
Who's
vodka
next?
cup, bro. That's all it is, man. It's a vodka cup.
Rents, boys. Can even spell.
Yo,
we
that's a bit
we
wild.
have
That's a bit wild.
tasted championship at Europe's highest level of football. You can't say that. So
Listen, man.
It tastes
show us
delicious,
the
by the
proper
way.
cups, innit?
Did
I
Arsenal
don't
even
hate-
ever make it to the finals?
Sure.
They had like one final in their
yeah,
history,
they had
right?
one.
Yeah.
They had
One
one
final.
final.
Hang
But
on,
the
AFC,
Invincibles, right?
I don't pay rent. I pay a mortgage. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. Mortgage boy is fine. Not rent. You know what I mean?
Mortgage.
Oh,
I bought my house
AFC,
in cash.
I appreciate being here though. Regardless, thank you for
Sounds
being
dodgy.
here.
Can I say as well on explosive gamers point he made earlier about like Potter being an unknown commodity? I agree.
This one.
Yeah, I agree. But so were Guardiola and Klopp at one point. Klopp as a man was given a chance as a manager by the literally just after he retired as a player by a team in the second Bundesliga. He got them promoted and then relegated, and was then given a chance by Dortmund. And then from being at Dortmund, that's where he managed to win a league. You have to give these players or these managers a chance. Like Klopp at one point was an unknown commodity, and Dortmund still risked it, went with him, and they reaped the benefits in terms of they won the league and they won the cup, and they got to a final of the Champions League.
And
same with Guardiola. Guardiola was literally given the reins of a team. I think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the season before won the league with Frank Rijkaard as manager. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they won the league.
They won the league before he got there.
Yeah, I think Real Madrid won it back to back.
I think they definitely won the league under Rijkaard, but I can't remember if it was the season before.
Yeah, it was 05-06 season when they won the Champions League. They won like the treble.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. But then after that, after Rijkaard as manager, they then went, instead of going for again another big manager, they went to like they went
they always nearly promote. Yeah, they always nearly
They went for the
always promote the second team, but that's La Liga same thing. So no matter what, Barcelona gets the second place or first.
It's like sooner or later, these managers have to be given a chance. So what's the problem with Potter being given the chance now?
Yeah,
and listen,
there's no harm in it, because at the end of the day, we know he is a long-term manager. We've seen it. People can talk about Brighton. They finished 9th. Well, guess what? At one point last season, they were in the top 4, and they consistently outperformed their XG. Like
problem is, I want to see results slightly faster.
Higher. Say again?
Yeah,
I just want the results to be seen slightly faster.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's fair. Yeah, but
I don't even want to see results. I just want to see progress in the team.
Or least understanding of the system he plays. Like this is what I'm saying. If he puts the same thing what other managers did, put the trust in Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, and all that, he will end up on the same barrel of the gun at the end of it. He will get fired. So might as well use this thing and just block whatever you want to block and just go for what it is. That list, I will see it. I'm okay with this being 15 if I see you put your kahunas on the table and nobody's asking you, your players don't know what they're doing.
Put your yachts on the table, bro. Put your yachts on the table, bro.
He has to be cutthroat, man. He has to be cutthroat. That's all.
Look at Ten Hag. Whatever you say about Man United, and they're going to be up and down as well.
Maguire.
They're going to be up and down as well. But he made big decisions.
He dropped Casemiro in the beginning. Then he changed his mind.
And he's also told Cristiano Ronaldo to go sit on the naughty step. You know what I mean? Twice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So he's done that. He's not afraid. And look what he's doing. Look what he's told Sancho in the press, man. You got to shape up.
Potter can't even say that to Mason Mount. He likes to play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He likes to play the rhythm.
This is where I want to judge Potter.
If he will put the weight, like trust in those guys, they the ones that gonna end up fire him because
exactly, man.
I was gonna say with Potter, my full judgment on his trust of these players will come in February. Once the January window hits, and again, it depends what we do in January. But if we get an Nkunku, if we get a Gvardiol, if we get a Fernandez, Enzo, that is, or
and Mount still start Kai Havertz, then it's a question.
If we get those guys and they're the ones sitting on the bench or they're playing, but Havertz and Mount still are, then yes, at that point I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you still playing these guys when they let you down before? You've got now better players than them, and you're still playing these other players. At that point, yes.
Did you hear Liverpool is for sale?
Yeah,
I was gonna bring that up in a minute, but to add on to Scott's point before I let Carlito go too as well, like just to give another example to Explosive Gamer's comment is look at Arteta now. Like right now, of course, it's not the end of the season, and I hate to be complimenting Arsenal, but that project took 3 years to make. And he started getting rid of Emery's old players. Look at how Arteta's,
I fucking hate that example. What have they done? What have they done? They played well for 13 games.
You can say what you want about how they're not going to win the title.
You can say how you want.
They've improved. Is what he's saying.
They've improved over time.
They improved when everybody else declined.
They have a style of football that they're playing now. Gabriel Jesus is kicking off. Look at Zinchenko going off.
He hasn't scored in the last 8 games.
He hasn't scored in the last 8 games, bro.
He's actively involved in that attack.
It's not about he's not scoring. It's about he's affecting the team in a positive way.
No. I disagree with you. You measure success based on trophies, not 13 games. Once they win trophies, I'll start taking them seriously. Then you can use Arteta as an example.
There's a step with this. Like I was going to say, they're competing with literally the best team. They are competing with one of the best teams in the world in terms of like player, like who they've got in terms of on their team in terms of manager.
It's premature.
And they are
Scott.
currently-
I know
they are
you're a smart
still
guy,
a
bro.
stonks,
It's
man.
premature,
Still
man.
a
14
stonks.
games is nothing, man.
We'll
Being
see
good
at the
after
end of the
14
season.
games is nothing.
I-
Still not.
I still have the right to reserve judgment, but right now, based on what I'm seeing, what Arteta's doing, it looked that was a project that was given
Marshall, you
time,
said-
and it's showing results.
You said Lampard should stay when we were 9th, bro. You have no
Hey,
fucking
come
right to give me that. I'm
on,
seeing what I'm
guys.
seeing, bro.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
shots
no,
fired.
no.
Shots fired.
I know he's right
I'm
though.
just
It's
joking,
true.
I'm just joking,
no,
Marshall
I
knows
know
I'm
he's
joking.
joking.
No,
but
I
he's
know,
right.
but
And-
let's
and I own
not.
up to it.
Carlito, I didn't take you for a sensitive guy, bro.
Oh, yeah, right. No, I don't want to crucify Marshall for past sins. That's
He
all.
deserves it, man. He said a lot of wild things, bro. Only you knew,
He's
bro.
got a wild stash right now. Look at that boy. Oh man, it is going crazy over there, Marshall. So
I
look,
gotta trim this thing. You're right.
He's eating
there
his
is no
vitamins,
doubt.
man.
There
He's
is
eating
no
his
doubt.
vitamins.
All right, so here's my deal. We live in a very fickle world, and all of you are smart enough to know what have you done for me lately is the only fucking thing that matters. Don't talk to me about trophies, one, because if we really want to stack up trophies, Arsenal and Liverpool, Man United, they all have more than us. So that argument is actually fucking lame. Don't use that argument. Arsenal right now have stuck with a dude that got 8th, and 5th. And they bought correctly. They didn't buy the best players, they bought the right players. And because of it, over time, this obsessive, compulsive, almost really strange manager has been allowed to do whatever he wants for the past couple of years. And now he has a team that is marching to the beat of his drum, playing his music, and they're doing well. Does it mean anything? No. Alex is right. It is premature because the season is 9 months. The season is not 3 months. So we still have to wait. That's fine. But at the same time, you got to give them props for at least playing well. They're top of the league. And until that's not the case, you got to give them some flowers. Plus, it wasn't just that they played better than us yesterday. They wanted it so much more. They cared so much more. They pressed so much harder. They wanted the ball so much more. And on top of all of that, they wanted to embarrass us. And guess what? They fucking did. So if you can't accept that, you're not an adult, and I have no respect for your opinion.
No, Carlito, all due respect, yeah, they humbled us, but so did Brighton, bro. You don't see me here picking up Brighton, bro. Beating Chelsea is not with Mount and Havertz in the team. Beating Chelsea is not something big, man.
So it's a
we
good
are no longer the
transition.
Lampard
No,
team, bro.
it's a good transition because now I'm getting my
I
point.
did-
Alex already. Go
I
ahead.
actually
I didn't
think
say-
Brighton played better than Arsenal
Yes.
against us.
Yes.
A lot
I
better.
think so too.
I
So
don't think
here's
I
the
don't think
transition.
Arsenal was anything special yesterday either.
No,
Exactly,
we could have
Alex.
hadn't gotten.
So
I-
but that's how bad we were, Marshall.
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
what
yeah,
I-
yeah,
This is
yeah.
what I
Yeah,
want to.
yeah.
This is what I want to say because I brought this up to Alex earlier. We on different stream we talked about this. This is what Graham Potter said when he was asked about Mount being overused and being tired. We looked at the game from a training perspective, and Mason likes to be playing games. That was a grown man making $12 million a year, and his response to why did you pick Mount again? His response is Mason likes to be playing games. So Marshall, when I was in my 20s, I used to coach, kids from age 5 to age 19. I coached all ages. And what parents would do when their kid was not playing is that they would come up to me and they would say, Ryan, little Johnny likes to play in the games. He likes to kick the ball. He likes to score the goal. He likes
He's a
to
good
be
boy.
playing games. He's a good boy. He likes to be playing the games. And this grown-ass fucking man, Graham Potter, who was tipped to be the England manager, yesterday's response to why you overplay Mount when he doesn't deserve it. His response is, little Mason likes to play in the games. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You are a grown-ass man, and you just gave a response as though Mason's 10 and you're his daddy advocating for minutes to a coach who's probably in his 20s that he does not fucking deserve. It's embarrassing what Graham Potter said. He should be embarrassed. He should be fined. Mason likes to play in the games.
He's
If
a
he
good boy,
didn't,
Mason.
he's a good little boy. He's a good little boy. He likes to score the goal. He likes to shoot the shot that's not open. Get the fuck
Let him
out of
play.
here.
He's a good boy. Give him the ball.
Marshall, I'm so embarrassed that he said that. I'm so embarrassed.
No, I get it. I understand. He's
Marshall
definitely not
likes
as
to do the
savvy.
streams. He likes to do the streams.
He's a good boy, Marshall.
That sounded good.
Me and Carlito are a good team, man. Me and Carlito are a good team, man.
All right.
Same thing you can say. They
he's
think
got,
you
he's
can
got his
say-
sound effects back.
Andrew likes to brush his hair. Like it's
Yeah, and I'm not doing it until you let me do this.
Oh my days! Look, he's
Mount
definitely
likes
not
to
as
play with his
savvy
friends.
talking.
He likes to play with
He's
his
definitely
friends.
not- He's definitely not as savvy as talking to the press as Tuchel was. That's for sure.
Can you imagine
Right.
Tuchel answering that question? Oh man, because I'm just thinking about the dichotomy between what Potter did and how he was baited. He was baited by those journalists, and he said the most naive shit because he was not prepared. Because I don't think he's ever been schooled in media because media has never followed him before. Oh,
Can you imagine if
It's bigger
Mourinho
shoes
was
to
asked
fill.
the question, like, if Mourinho was like, I don't think you players understand. What
No,
we're
can you
doing on the
imagine
field."
Joseph saying, the Mason, he likes to play the games? He likes to play the games?
Alex, that journalist will be sent to Siberia, bro. Mourinho. He won't be here anymore.
He
Oh
will
my
be
God.
volunteer. He will be volunteer.
He'd be just a rumor. You know?
Preferably not to
Rumor
not
has
to
it.
speak.
Yeah.
If I speak, I am in big trouble.
Big trouble.
Mason Mount.
Yeah, he likes to play the
Jose,
games.
I'm trying to think. Jose did say something about Mason Mount.
He would
like,
make
a
you
fair
play with
few
the ball
years
boys,
back
bro.
When Jose was pundit, he said
So
something
this,
about, he said about something
so
about
what
that.
happened was we lost 4-0, first game of Lampard's Premier League tenure, and Mourinho immediately went after Lampard saying Mason Mount should not be in this team. And I've felt that way about Mason Mount, like Jose Mourinho, ever since. Because I don't think he should be in this team. And yet, because he's popular and because he's, the marketing staple of Chelsea, I feel like there is an obligation to play him, even though he's not very good. So, them's the breaks, as Boris would say.
You know what?
Alex,
Yeah, I think it's.
Go ahead, Ahmed.
specifically, it's very interesting. The contract talks with Mount have still been remaining quiet. That's all I'm gonna say in it. You know what I mean?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm remaining quiet either.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think he's going anywhere, man.
Listen,
We'll
I'm
see.
gonna
Yeah,
say
I don't
that.
think he's going anywhere, but at the same time, I wouldn't be upset if he went
I
somewhere
think he
else.
will stay longer than Potter. If it's gonna be between those two, I bet you he's gonna stay longer, man. I promise you.
Alex, you
I don't-
wanted to talk about Liverpool
Liverpool.
and
yeah.
this. Apparently, this is real. I didn't think it was actually real.
No,
I
it
thought
was
it was
real,
like.
actually.
Get
Well,
that.
Liverpool ain't confirmed it, right? It's just a very reliable source.
Yeah,
No, it's
well,
not,
yeah.
All they say is shares. He wants to sell shares. And I didn't see anything about selling the actual club. Though.
yeah.
But if he sells a certain amount of the shares, then someone else takes over, pretty much. right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
not his
Once you
share.
have
They're
the
just looking for
majority-
investments.
yeah. Once you have the
No, not
majority share of
investments.
Liverpool, yeah.
It's not
They're literally-
investments, guy.
they're
Well,
trying to
keep
set
in
the
mind,
club on
it's
Liverpool,
part
yeah.
of a conglomerate. It's one
Yeah.
club of like a couple other different things. A racing
Yeah.
team, a baseball team. So keep in mind.
I mean, if
So
they
all the
if
Liverpool
they get like
fans are asking to be
I was going to say
go to
that
Saudi
is
Arabia.
To be
that
bought
is
by the
a
Saudis.
fantastic. Like if from just a what you can build kind of team, that's such an enticing prospect. If you just look at their
I'm just gonna
team,
make
what
sure
you
that
can
all
build.
the
those
reason-
Liverpool fans who second guess Roman Abramovich, where he got his money from,
Yeah,
Newcastle,
Oh, that'll
where
be
they
funny.
get
Yeah,
their
that'll
money
be funny,
from,
actually.
and Man City. Just make sure that you've cleared all
Are
your...
those money has any oil? Just like
Yeah, exactly.
dirt
Yeah.
oil
We do think
or
that.
money of Russian
We do
pain
things the
and
right
suffering?
way.
Is that
Yeah.
look at
We don't need to do
look
it.
at
We
look
do
at
things
look
the
at
right way.
Velvet Sean in the chat right now. We have
exactly?
Dubai
We have
owners looking
Dubai
at us.
owners looking at us.
Not so
Congrats.
shameless anymore.
No, did you see
I'm just-
Hussam dressing in as and does traditional Saudi Arabian clothes like twerk?
Hey, Alex, what's that I was saying, Alex? You either die being a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Welcome to the villain club, Liverpool.
No.
Welcome
You
to
live
the
long
villain
enough to see
club.
yourself become an Instagram model, man. Being sold to the guy, man.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Hey,
Kai.
I don't have Instagram. Kai, do you have Instagram?
I do, yes. I post a lot of topless photos as well, man.
That's
He does.
not
Yeah,
I can
surprising.
does.
attest to that. I follow him on Instagram. Unfortunately, I can attest to that.
Do you take a lot of selfies with your food?
No.
Yo,
Just
what
my
a
body,
pussy.
bro. Just my body.
Hey,
All right, boys.
Marshall. Last thing
Yes.
about the Liverpool, because we could close on this. The decline in the Super League, as well as Boehly taking over Chelsea. There's a rumor that that's one of the reasons why they want to sell.
So that they can be part of the Super League or some shit?
No, because the Super League didn't happen.
Let's pray to get the Ricketts.
Isn't there rumors that they're going to bring it back, though?
No, I don't think so.
No, I know Perez wants it back, but
that is two. There's 2 owners. That is not 10 owners that want it back.
There's this one guy that made like a video campaign in like to support the Super League, and they're trying to present it again to the audience so they can.
It's still in the course for
the reason being is these guys want guaranteed revenue every year. They don't want it based on winning or getting top 4 or going into Champions League. They want guaranteed revenue every year.
No,
this guarantees it.
No.
So do I, to be honest, man.
I still the league is not going anywhere. The problem with Super League is gonna be a separated playing from between the Championship League.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a separate entity playing. Not any times. It's gonna be a tournament.
Yeah.
Sure, no, but what they want is that they don't want relegation. They want a set group of teams. They want set revenue. They want revenue.
But it's a tournament. It's a tournament based. It's not
imagine
like
the
beginning,
PR
the
of
reason,
that Super League, man. Jesus.
Yeah. The reason why it got back down so immediately because it was like a league plays. Like you play in Super League throughout the season like a regular.
It was like
now
they
want
golf.
a tournament.
It's live golf. You know,
I'm worried for Fata if we get the Super League. Those travel expenses are going to be a lot, man, for him to keep going.
He doesn't donate hundreds anymore. So
man, Andrew, I get Peacock for free, brother. I'm all good.
Yeah, he's going to stay at home, man.
Absolutely, bro. You see my couch? It's beautiful.
I wonder if Sky will put the 3 p.m. games on. Well, whatever time.
I'm just saying. But, boys, I did want to touch on this last thing before we end tonight. Next game is Man City. I think I know how we all feel about this. Chris. Well, I might as well ask. All right, we'll start with Andrew, and we'll go around the table.
Everywhere we
Let's
go.
see.
Chelsea
What's the score going to be, Andrew?
Okay, so listen, it's a cup game. We'll be up for it as usual with all the cups. So,
C cup, D cup.
Probably a glorious 2-1 defeat or something like that. Do you know what I mean? I think
we're playing City, no?
Yeah,
we're playing City on Wednesday. Yes.
Yep. I think we'll still lose 2 or 3-1. We'll lose by. So, but we'll try. We'll try harder.
We'll try.
Is that Aspie? Is that you tweeting? Aspie, is that you tweeting? We're gonna try.
Hey, Aspie played well against Arsenal.
Hey, unfortunately he did.
Okay.
Mason Mount is gonna post an Instagram having fun, you know. Good boy.
If Aspie is the best player on the field, then we stink.
That's true.
Well, that's what I said. If for the past 2 years we had most of our players of the games are defensive-minded players.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be here, man.
Mason Mount
should never be a defender, man. That's what I'm saying. I feel he should never be a defender.
Anyway, it's time to go.
Glorious 2-0 defeat, Andrew, Chris.
The last.
Go on. You want to say something, Alex?
Yeah, I was gonna say the last less games to play, more rest for Mount. If we play less, like get kicked out early, don't get like into the final.
No. Mason likes to play in the games, Alex.
He's a good boy.
Yeah.
I know.
Give him the ball and he'll play. He's a good boy. He likes to play with his friends.
He wants to kick the ball.
Imaginary friends.
Yeah.
Imaginary.
He wants to win the.
Hey, Alex, let me tell you something, man. Did you hear what he said the other day? He said that his teammates are giving him shit for winning man of the match trophies. He doesn't have. Here's the thing, though. If he's that open about it, I feel like that's a confession. I feel like he knows that his teammates actually don't think he deserves all this shit.
And even worse, he knows he's gonna play, even if he does play like shit. So he doesn't care.
Whatever. Anyways,
I thought it'd be a quick second.
To be fair.
Mason Thanos Mount.
Go ahead.
I will wait.
Go ahead.
Thanos.
Ultron, man. Maybe Ultron.
I'm just gonna say the scoreline because this game don't matter, but it's gonna be 5-2 to Chelsea. 5-2 to Chelsea extra time.
5-2
from who, bro?
What the? You mean penalties?
No, extra time.
Extra time. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All
Swear to
right,
God,
Alex,
that
what do you
just
think the
wants to
score
be
is?
special.
If that happens,
Bro,
if
if
that
Mason
happens,
Mount
you're
take one
hosting the next
penalty, bro, I
Casually
swear to
Chelsea.
God, man. If
Chris,
he takes
Chris,
one
if that
penalty, bro.
happens, Chris, if that happens, you're hosting next Casually Chelsea, okay? Alex, what do you think the score is going to be?
5-0 Jorginho hat trick on a penalty.
That is so going
Carlito.
to happen one of these days. I can't wait for it. It is gonna happen
Actually,
one of these
almost
days.
happened against Everton.
It did. You remember? It was like he took.
Oh,
He,
God.
played, he scored 2 penalties, and it should be a third one. It should be penalty on him, but the referee didn't give it, and it was 100%
Yeah, the
penalty.
referee balls up 'cause it was late in the game. You go, oh, I don't want to
Yes.
make it worse. It's like, shut
It
up,
also
man.
happened with Leeds, innit? They're not happening with
The
Leeds
ref
last
was
season
like,
at
you
home.
had enough, man.
Yeah.
Stop.
Leeds last season at home, he had 2 penalties. Almost a
Yeah.
third.
Is Carlito, your score predictions?
I don't do predictions, man. I don't know who's gonna win. No idea.
Okay, too cool for predictions.
Oh no! Way too cool for predictions. You bet your fucking ass I'm too cool. For
Too American for predictions. Let's
That's
go.
right, baby. That's right.
All right, Kai, what do you think, man? You don't care?
It depends what kind of game Mason Mount wants to play.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Do you think he's gonna pick the? Do you think he's gonna pick the 11? Mason likes to
let me
pick
answer,
the
bro.
11.
Let me answer.
All
He likes to pick his friends. All right.
Oh my God.
3-0 Chelsea. Mason Mount disallowed goal.
What about own goal?
Yeah, if you hit the side netting enough times, you think they'll just give him a goal?
No, we can see them. That'd be silly.
Bro, Mason Mount is the kind of
The
guy
hole
to score
through the net.
an own goal and he gets it as an actual goal, man.
Man of the match. Man of the match, man.
Man of the
Man
match.
of the match.
He knew
Own
Matt
goal.
is scoring own goal.
Mason of the match. Mason of the match.
I'm at your
Yeah,
prediction.
good, but I gotta go spend some time with real
All
family.
right, thank you for coming out, Alex. Thank you.
Night.
Ahmed, your prediction, my friend.
It's going to be just 3-0 Man City. You know, it's going to be a pretty easy game for them. And it is worse, man. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be watching the game.
What's
So,
score?
3-0 to Man City.
He
innit?
said 3-0 to Man City.
That's unrealistic.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Chris. Scott, what's the score going to be at the Etihad?
5-0 City.
Damn.
All right, 2-0
And that's
City.
me being
Okay,
generous,
that's
by the
where
way.
I'm at.
That's me being
That's where
generous.
I'm at with Chelsea.
Wait,
I hope he
That's where I'm at
starts
with Chelsea. Is
Haaland.
that-
I hope he starts Haaland.
You know what? The
Hey, yeah,
one,
he'll start
the
Haaland.
one.
He'll start a front three of like, I don't know, that Cole Palmer, you Alvarez, and some other dude, and they'll all score hat tricks or something.
Mahrez as well, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
You
Mahrez.
know what? The one shining hope that I have about this game is that maybe I'll get to see Zakaria play. Maybe I'll get to see Zakaria play.
Ah, man. Mason likes to play. Mason likes to play.
He likes to play with his friends.
Pick
Just
his
like
friends and play with his
Zakaria.
friends.
Run from it. Fear it.
Oh my God.
Mason will start every game, sucker.
2-0 Man City. That's a
2-0
prediction.
Mason Mount. 2-0 Mason
Once you get
2-0
8, you
Mason
can't shake it
Mount.
off.
You don't
Mason
believe
Mount
we
is
can score, man.
inevitable. I don't know. We'll see. I thought Potter could pull a miracle against Arsenal, and he just looked more clueless than before. So we'll see. We'll give him time. I'll give him time, but we'll
I don't
see.
know if you will. I'm not so certain you
How
will.
much longer? How much longer?
I'll give him the
all
whole
I'm saying
season.
is we're conceding
As
10 in the
long
next
as you
game.
love
Based on the
me.
people strapped in and ready.
Yeah.
It's going to be
This
glorious.
is going to be the sorry week. I told you guys, get ready.
All right,
Sorry.
it might be, you know, when we held like what?
Sarri
6
was
to
good,
6,
man.
We held 4 to
4-0
4.
against-
It might be, you know, it
Yo.
genuinely might be.
The
Hey,
Bournemouth
I'm
one,
holding
and then the
10.
Man City game
Oh,
after.
we're holding 10.
I'm telling you, it
Eh,
could be.
I'm
Alright.
gonna tell you what. If Potter doesn't smoke before the game, he's gonna start after, bro.
Are you talking about those like Lucky Strike no filters, the ones that really hit you hard, man?
No, the ones he rolled himself, man. He's gonna start rolling once he gets,
Yes.
Oh, it's gonna have
Fucking minerals, bruv.
in those cigarettes, man.
Oh,
All
I
right.
hate that voice,
Never
man.
mind about smoking. He's going to be doing Adrian Mewtwo in the fucking toilet before it.
Oh my days.
Boehly's gonna
Alright,
pay him.
boys.
Boehly's gonna pay him a
Alright,
visit, man. He's gonna be like, "Hey, Potter, let me talk to you."
I gave you guys a poll in the chat. 107 of you voted, but you can't click on the fucking like button. It's okay. I forgive
by
you.
the way. It's just like,
Marshall, they're intentionally not clicking the like button now because you asked too many times.
Yeah.
You know what you should do
jerks.
next time? You should say, don't
okay.
click the like button, and you'll probably get 1,000 likes.
Or just fuck ton of dislikes. Who knows?
Can I just say this, right? If you haven't clicked the like button, you're a pussy hole. That's what you are, yeah.
You got him good, Andrew. You got him good, man.
If you don't vote, Mount will start every game.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how you do it.
There you go.
What we're noticing here, if you haven't pressed the like button, that means you love Mason Mount and Kai Havertz to start all our
click that like button.
All right, boys. You guys are 45% of you said give Potter time, so we'll see what happens.
I'm not 21%.
Guys, thank you so much for being here. Shut up, Chris. Let me end this fucking shit show. All right. I love you guys. We'll see you again Wednesday after the I almost said Carling Cup, for fuck's sake. Carabao Cup game. Hopefully we get a win. I doubt it. We'll see. This is just we're all along for the ride at this point, but you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Peace out. Stay casual.
I love